North Dakota and Iowa State coming up next.
We'd like to welcome in everyone watching across the country and the world. We're just getting started. We had our opening kickoff, touchback. Ball will be spotted at the 25. And now we'll get a chance to see last year's Big 12 Freshman of the Year, Rocco Becht, lead the offense out.
Well, he's really cool, smooth, under center, and he's got a lot of assets around him. Let's see how long it takes him to unleash that talent, Eric. It's going to be an outstanding day if they can ever grasp a hold of what their potential is.
Abu Sama is a home run waiting to happen. He's number 24 behind Becht. They fake it to Sama. Wants a bunch. Double coverage. Good luck.
How about that?
Oh, my goodness, it's caught. What a way to start the season. Are you kidding me, Jalen? No.
Partner, you nailed it in our open. That's exactly what we talked about, the vertical threat they have. We know Matt Campbell wants to run the ball. He wants to establish it, but he's got so many assets out here. He's wasted no time unleashing this talent.
53 big ones. Quickly back to the new line of scrimmage. Becht into the corner. Could beat 6. It is! Touchdown, Iowa State! Jaden Higgins gets himself a touchdown, and that's the way Iowa State rolls.
Playing team ball. You talk about the execution. Everybody at every level was doing their job. Watch the great blitz pickup right here. We talk about Abu being explosive. Watch him get a guy and allow his quarterback to put that ball up in the air. A little fade. Ball right in the pocket. That's called dropping a dime, big fella.
Woo! 2 plays, 75 yards, and 6 for Iowa State. Cal Conrady, the kicker this year, up and down. Matt Campbell couldn't have asked for anything better. What a start to the season.
I told you, partner, lit fuse racing to a point to explode. No disappointment in the early minutes. I'm pretty excited.
People always say,
it is what it is.
Until it isn't. Remember before AI when you had to type to search? And when you couldn't ask your phone to do this?
Put these restaurants on a map.
Huh. What about taking a photo and reimagining it? Man, remember when all phones pretty much did the same stuff? Until they didn't. Get the all-new Google Pixel 9 Pro phones at googlestore.com.
Wendy's has new saucy nugs. And if Wendy's found a way to make their nugs even better, anything is sauceable! For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
Trains. Trains that sense what isn't on the schedule. Trains that use the power of Dell AI and Intel to see hundreds of miles of tracks, clearing the way so you arrive exactly where you belong.
It's a big match for the National Women's Soccer League.
So, I like honey barbecue, you like honey barbecue. I like football, I think you like football. We're like the brothers we never had.
No, I have a brother.
But does he have time for you?
I guess he doesn't.
Yeah, because I feel like he'd be here if he did.
When we say it'll be on time, they expect it to be on time.
Turn shipping to your advantage.
Keep those expectations with reliable ground shipping.
Thanks, Brandon.
With USPS Ground Advantage.
Well, there's no chance the Cyclone fans could have drawn this one up any better. What a start to the season. 2 plays, a touchdown. We're 38 seconds into the season.
You talk about accuracy between double coverage all over. How do you catch that ball? Most people, it's a 50-50 conversation. This is more like an 80-20. When he's throwing that ball with the accuracy and the touch, and then on the fade ball, the stop, it doesn't get any better than that. That is what you get from a Rocco Becht. Redshirt sophomore, son of a coach. He's got it all working in his favor.
All right, first chance for North Dakota. And they will have a touchback ball to be spotted at the 25-yard line. Great story with North Dakota. Their signal caller is Simon Rumfo. He is a junior from Calvin, North Dakota. Folks, Calvin, North Dakota is right on the border of North Dakota and Canada. It would be Manitoba. He comes from Calvin, North Dakota, population 15.
What?
Spencer Tillman.
15?
15.
Holy
Probably
cow.
0 right now. They're all in the building. First start, he replaces Tommy Schuster, who had eligibility, decided to play Big Ten football. He's transferred to Michigan State.
Well, he's got some issues right now. He's having to adjust early in this one. And the noise is a factor. He's having to walk down the line and communicate.
Gavin Zebarth is the back with him. And Rumpo's going to keep it. He's a good runner.
Yep.
Making something out of nothing. How about that? 9 yards. You'll take that. North Dakota, the Fighting Hawks, work in progress up front. Their offensive line, 80% gone. The only returning starter from a year ago is Seth Anderson. They've got a guy in Quincy Vaughn who plays tight end, but they line him up all over the field. He's a jack of all trades. Zebarth is the guy who's going to get the majority of the carries for North Dakota.
Well, John Haycock, the defensive coordinator for Iowa State, has got to find a way to get his defensive ends disciplined. Otherwise, this mobile quarterback is going to expose them, just like he did.
Snap is high. Still going to get the first down. Powerful running right up the gut by Zebarth. And close to the 50-yard line goes North Dakota.
Yeah, Zebarth gets vertical right now. The read tells him on this 11-yard gain here that just the mesh point allowed to stick in the belly of your runner. The last time the option told him to take it himself and run it. Outstanding job. Look at all the space. Against this three-man front, Eric, you're going to find that the zero technique, that's that big guy over the center, he's got a dual gap responsibility. That's a lot of area to cover.
Rumfro. His pass is behind his intended receiver, trying to get it to Zebarth out in space. Defensively, Iowa State, some interesting wrinkles. J.R. Singleton led the team in sacks a year ago. Linebacking core is going to be a question. Last year, Zach Sadowski started every game. He's not starting today. Will McLaughlin also will not play. So you got Cooper Ebel, Caleb Bacon, and Jacob Ellis as your three backers. Of course, this is a 3-3-5 defense. Malik Verdon. Darian Porter, sixth-year guy, starting for the very first time. Sixth-year player is number 10.
This is a very difficult defense to have success on, mainly because of those three guys in the middle of the field. It's what we call a three-cloud, three-safety base structure, and it's really tough to hone in on who's responsible for the field call, and so that's what your quarterback, Simon Rumfo, has got to deal with.
They ruled that a lateral. So that's why the line of scrimmage has been moved back to the 39-yard line. So that would be classified as a mistake by the young quarterback, Simon Rumfo. Second down and 16.
How they handle the pressure here. Nice little Z stunt.
Play action, dump down.
Great job.
Not much doing there at all. That's that tight end we talked about, Quincy Vaughn.
Cooper Ebel did a wonderful job, too, coming in at 47. Got to that edge, and the last time he got fooled, he wasn't going to get fooled this time, partner. Mick does his assignment extremely well, stays home, gets width and releases, and finds a home at the spot.
Third down and a bunch. They need to cross the 50 and get to the 45. Isaiah Smith has checked in the backfield.
Let's see how they handle this tandem at both sides. We got quad working, two up top, two at the bottom.
Spitting it out quickly, incomplete. In the direction of Caden Dennis, punt team will have to come on.
Great coverage by Miles Purchase out there, the left cornerback, and that's the field side. When we say field side, that's the widest side of the field, and usually, Eric, you're going to have your most athletic guys covering the most space. So you'll see him out there in this three-safety alignment at the cornerback position because he's the one that can get there in a hurry.
Field side, boundary side.
Yeah, you got it. You nailed it.
Luke Silvernail, punter a year ago, comes on for the Fighting Hawks. And this is returnable.
You keep coming.
Jalen Knoll, dangerous in the open field out to the 24-yard line. Punt of 49 yards, return of 13.
These special teams are explosive for this Iowa State Cyclones team. They're wonderful in terms of the way they set things up. Very passionate group of guys that detail, and Matt Campbell, their head coach, is involved in every phase of this, including special teams. Just watching them yesterday and kind of walk through. It was a Fast Friday arrangement. I'm telling you, man, he didn't miss anything.
Just showed you that last year, Iowa State under Matt Campbell, they scored quickly. Did so their first time with the football. Maybe they'll hand it off this time. Who knows? 2 passing plays and a touchdown first go around. Sama, his first touch.
Wow,
oh my
he's so
goodness!
gifted.
Up and over, out to the 40-yard line. 16 yards.
Eric, you'll not find a better 16-yard run than this one. They flooded the field to the left to give him the weak side. He comes and he's got one man to deal with. The end goes inside, makes that block easy, and there's some of that contact explosiveness that we talked about that I first saw last year in Farmageddon against Kansas State in Manhattan.
You're talking about 276 yards for Sama. First incompletion of the season for Beck, looking for Benny Nagoy. And we've got a stoppage as a man is down for North Dakota.
Yeah, Benny Nagoy will be in there because Daniel Jackson, the other receiver in that trio for Iowa State, is down. Well, partner, you and I were talking about this game as one of images and impressions. And if you're on the road playing in a big venue like this, the image and the impression from a psychological standpoint, you want to get your guys up and moving, right? Engaged. Now, granted, they're going to spend the time necessary to deal with this down hawk here, but the bottom line is you've got to be able to show early in the series that you're able to stay up and compete at this level.
I was surprised to find out, as did my research for this game, it's the first time these schools have ever played.
Yep, ever played. And there's a little bit of extra of angst, shall we say, associated with that first time encounter.
Man down is Braden Moore. Bubba Schweigert last year went to the playoffs, nothing new at North Dakota. They've gone to the playoffs for the last 5 years.
That's what you need to see right there.
And we'll keep an eye on Moore.
All right, we talk about having a snap and clear mentality. Something like that happens, man. You got to snap, clear your mind, go to the next play like it doesn't happen. That's it. That's very important when you're on the road against an opponent like this. Snap and clear.
Matt Campbell. Last year, they stubbed their toe very early on in the season against Ohio, but that was pivotal. They rebounded, finished off the season nicely, lost in the bowl game against in the Liberty Bowl, but for the most part, a successful season considering the way that everything started. Second down at 10. Sama caught behind the line of scrimmage, tries to get back to the line, and it's going to bring up third down and long.
Well, even with that freakish balance that Sama has, he's not going to get away from that one. Great job of closing down the short side of the field. He tried to get to the edge of it, the inside zone, but watch this edge rusher on the outside here. A wonderful job of reading and reacting in a way that's consistent with how you need to play this defensive scheme, right? Wonderful job. Good defense.
So third down and 13 officially. They need to get to midfield. Jalen Knowles, man in motion, top of your screen.
Just a four-man rush, plenty of time.
Pass is too high. Tried to squeeze it to Eli Green.
And that's a big-time throw right there. Across the field between coverage at a different level. That's not like dropping a dime on a vertical passing route or a fade ball against single coverage. This is next-level stuff right there. Now, you see some of the big ones not being able to make that call, but I think what it's speaking to is Taylor Mauser, the new offensive coordinator for Iowa State, his confidence in this young quarterback, his ability to diagnose, see at the line of scrimmage, make the requisite throws that are necessary to open up this offense. And they've already demonstrated they can do it in the opening drive.
Tyler Perkins to kick it away. And should be an opportunity for Bo Belquist to touch the ball for the first time. Belquist calls the fair catch and makes it at the 28-yard line. Punt of 39 yards, no return. When we come back, we will see the North Dakota Fighting Hawks on offense.
One of these lunches has a peanut lover's favorites. The other has a sunflower butter you packed for your son. You do your best to help them avoid food allergens, but accidents can still happen. Xolair is an FDA-approved injection proven to significantly reduce allergic reactions from accidental food exposures. Taken once or twice a month, it focuses on the source of food allergy reactions. For adults and children as young as 1, Xolair is effective in reducing allergic reactions to a single or multiple foods.
Don't use if you are allergic to Xolair. Xolair may cause a severe life-threatening allergic reaction called anaphylaxis. Tell your doctor if you ever had anaphylaxis. Get help right away if you have trouble breathing or if you have swelling of your throat or tongue. Xolair should not be used for the emergency treatment of allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. Xolair is for maintenance use to reduce allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis, while avoiding food allergens. Serious side effects such as cancer, fever, muscle aches and rash, parasitic infection, or heart and circulation problems have been reported.
Help reduce your child's food allergy reactions if an accident happens. Ask an allergist about Xolair.
For a limited time, Subway just dropped the price of every footlong in the app to $6.99. Wait, Subway did what? $6.99 footlongs? Yep, says right here, $6.99 for any footlong. Get this deal in the Subway app now before it's too late.
Hey, that's great. But who are the chefs?
Rookie mistake?
Great googly moogly.
Maybe you just need a Snickers.
Olsen and the Braves battle Harper and the Phillies, or Brewers, Reds. It's baseball night in America on Fox.
Iowa State leads North Dakota 7-0. 10:02 remaining first quarter. During that last punt, we had Caleb Bacon limp off the field. Bacon starting as your middle linebacker.
Yep.
We will keep an eye on him and see if he can continue or who replaces him.
Partner, that's a big piece in John Haycock's defensive structure. Again, it's centered around the middle linebacker and those 3 safeties, but he's a big piece of it. The play flows through him. Here comes a little cross stunt. Let's see if they handle it. Oh, ran right where they were.
Zebarth, second possession for North Dakota, rips off 11 yards.
Look at these linebackers twist right here, partner. You can see those down linemen here. They're trying to create opportunities. That little scissor stunt right there worked against him, ran right between it.
Right now, the linebackers, Jacob Ellis, Cooper Ebel, 44 and 47 on the field. And we told you Will McLaughlin's not going to play today for Iowa State. A big part of what they've done in years past. He's banged up. Trying to get to the edge. Zebarth can't quite get there. Nominal gain out to 35.
You know, partner, that's the second time I've seen Cooper Ebel. Now, he's made some great plays, number 47, struggle with those bounce plays to the outside. And what's going to happen is, if you can see an opportunity to get there, and this is where Isaac Frickday, the offensive coordinator, the first time calling plays here, is going to see those weaknesses and start to attack on that right side. Let's see how they exploit it.
Bo Belquist hadn't been targeted yet.
Nope.
Belquist wears number 1, bottom of your screen.
A little pressure off the slot blitz.
Oh, this is actually Quincy Vaughn taking the direct snap.
Big fella.
And Quincy Vaughn, who began the day as the starting tight end, takes the direct snap and tries the power action. Doesn't work. Picks up a yard, maybe 2. It's now 3rd down. And coming back into the game, the quarterback, Simon Rumpo.
Hamilton, Ontario's Clarkson. That big fella was in there working it, man. That's impressive.
Not a huge surprise. Vaughn had been a quarterback in years past at North Dakota. And again, Rumpo has to leave his post to communicate with his offensive line.
Showing a cover 2 basic look here. Should be a hole.
Oh, quick pitch and catch close to the first down marker. That's Caden Dennis. And it's going to be just short. It's going to be a decision for North Dakota.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they give it to him.
Yeah, they give it to him. And the reason why they did is because there was a soft spot in the middle of that coverage. They forced Iowa State to get into a cover 2 as opposed to a 3-man back in, and it left a void in the structure.
And some early season confusion for the defense of Iowa State. They have to burn a timeout because they didn't know the personnel group they wanted on the field. We'll take a timeout. North Dakota driving when we return.
When migraine strikes, you're faced with a choice. Accept the trade-offs of treating or push through the pain and symptoms. With Ubrelvy, there's another option. One dose quickly stops migraine in its tracks. Treat it anytime, anywhere, without worrying where you are or if it's too late. Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Allergic reactions to Ubrelvy can happen. Most common side effects were nausea and sleepiness. Migraine pain relief starts with you. Ask about Ubrelvy. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Walk in for all your favorites during Little Caesars Summer of Hot and Ready, like a thin crust pepperoni pizza for $7.99. No need to order ahead, just get here ASAP. Stuck the landing! Walk in for your hot and ready favorites like $7.99 thin crust.
Pizza. Upset stomach? Iberogast. Indigestion? Iberogast. Bloating? Iberogast. Thanks to a unique combination of herbs, Iberogast helps relieve 6 digestive symptoms to help you feel better. 6 digestive symptoms, the power of nature. Iberogast.
This is an election year unlike any other.
America is ready.
And so are we.
Democracy 24. Your freedom. Your vote.
At Harry's, we designed our razors to start sharp and stay smooth, so your 8th shave is as smooth as your first. And at as little as $2 per blade, they cost half of what the other guys charge. Wake up to Harry's. Get your trial set for just $7 at harrys.com/smooth.
So this is your first time buying a home?
Yeah, this is first time doing any of this.
Honestly, we definitely have the stress and anxiety part down.
I know this can all seem a bit overwhelming, but everything is in the email I sent you the other day. It'll go a long way to ease those new anxieties. Information about financing, inspections.
The email.
And if you haven't looked at it yet, let's go through it together.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Expertise. Just one of the many ways an agent who's a realtor works for you.
With Chime, I have access to more fee-free ATMs than the top 3 national banks combined. That's over 50,000 fee-free ATMs. And I can add cash at over 8,000 Walgreens with no fee. That's why I Chime. Join Chime, the #1 most loved banking app.
Welcome back, everyone. Jack Trice Stadium here in Ames, Iowa. This is the 50th year that this building has been open. Isaac Frichte calling the shots at North Dakota. He's 33 years of age, offensive coordinator for the first time at the FCS level. Had been an offensive coordinator at Winona State, Division II, last 2 years. Played football for Jerry Kill as wide receiver in the Big Ten at Minnesota.
Had a cup of coffee with the Vikings, too, when the Detroit Lions was on their roster for a minute.
First down and 10. Isaiah Smith with a carry. And he bounces out to about the 49-yard line. Tackle made by Miles Purchase.
Miles come knifing in there, man. He's made a great play already. Just 4-yard stop there. It's very efficient in the way they structure. But I can tell you this, with Caleb Bacon's injury partner, what's happened is it's forced them out of a 3-safety alignment down into a 2-man front where they use that extra body to help deal with the run, right? So effective success on this first play here. We'll see how it continues to go.
Back-to-back carries for Smith. Dives across the 50s, tackled by a name we're going to talk about a lot today. Bo Freeler had 100 tackles last year, Bo Freeler did. One of the 2 defensive captains. Senior from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Oh, this defense is well coached, and again, perennially, what John Haycock has done, he's produced one of the most efficient and effective defenses in the conference among the nation in many categories.
There's Freeler. Third down and 2.
Back in a 2-safety alignment with the 3rd one out, so now they're back into that true 3-safety alignment.
Power football. Zebarth has the first down. I'll tell you, North Dakota offensively, they've not been afraid.
Yeah, well, they've needed to play keep away, and we said that, I think, a little bit up at the top. In order to keep this explosive offense with fewer possessions, they've got to find a way to move the chains on the ground. That's the key to success for them.
Zebarth averaged 6.5 yards per carry last year from Cambridge, Minnesota.
And this is the 8th play in this drive, so they're doing exactly that, partner.
Z-Barth wrapped up in the backfield and brought down. Tyler Onyedema. Biggest play of his young season.
You talk about quick as a hiccup. Watch big Tyler Onyedema do a wonderful job of an arm-over technique. Watch him come from that outside edge, a shaded eye, and then just rip technique underneath that guy to get to the target. It's a great job of reading and reacting, man. That's all reading like a computer, man. That's that.
First TFL for Onyedema of the year. Tackle for loss. Second down and 11. Smith. Dragged down by Cooper Ebel. It'll bring up third down.
And here's the crazy thing psychologically. I know Matt Campbell been coaching. This is his 9th year here. Here's the crazy thing about it. If North Dakota is able to continue to possess the ball and steal possessions, as explosive as Iowa State was on that first series, they're going to be concerned about some things. And so the ability to steal possessions, now we start to be concerned about points per possession. How many points you're going to get when you do get it.
They keep it on the ground. Smith can't get the edge. There was a bunch of Cyclones at that corner, and he had no chance. Makes me wonder if they're going to go for it on fourth down.
Well, you can see another wonderful job of Onyedema pushing them to the outside on that one to take all that real estate away.
Punt team comes on. Luke Silvernail will punt it away. 39-yard punt for Silvernail, his first go-around. If this is returnable, Jalen Knoll is back. He's at the 7-yard line.
I don't think they're going to put the ball in his hands. This is a short field.
Back of the end zone. 38-yard punt, but a net of just 18. Cyclone ball, leading 7-0 when we come back to Ames.
What if there was a place where you could feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourself?
A place where you can make connections. A place to build smarter and improve our world.
A place to lead your own way.
At the University of North Dakota, you'll find your community and become the leader the world needs.
Everything you thought you knew is brand new.
We on a new wave. This ain't what it was.
See, when the game changes, so do we. Every day, every play. Always been greater than 12, now standing 16 strong. In every end zone, any time zone. When everyone else keeps asking, what's next? We know we are.
At Domino's, our stores now have quality captains.
Impress me.
Those who demand perfection.
Topping distribution, horrible.
They're not afraid to criticize your pizza.
Terrible. Pathetic. I hate it.
Thank you. Until it's perfect.
I don't have to think about this one. It's a yes.
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 We're holding your pizza to an even higher standard.
Guess who works at Domino's?
Tonight, in your spacious La Quinta suite, your eyes could use a break after a long day of seeing, things. But hey, free waffles always make you forget. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine.
Thanks. What'd you get? Oh, I got another double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double hot, double calf, double sweet. Hey, did you know that Discover doubles your cash back at the end of the first year?
You are cut off.
You earn, we match.
Debbie.
Unlimited cashback match.
The NFL is back on Fox with a huge doubleheader. First, it's Steelers-Falcons. Then Tom Brady makes his debut in the booth as the Cowboys take on the Browns. It all kicks off September 8th on Fox.
Welcome back, everyone. Ames, Iowa. We've got baseball coming your way. Baseball Night in America on Fox as the Braves take on the NL East rival Bryce Harper and the Phillies. Or later tonight's battle in the NL Central. Brewers taking on Ellie De La Cruz and the Reds. It all begins tonight, 7 Eastern on Fox. Check for the game in your area. Third possession of this first quarter for Iowa State. First time they had it, 2 plays, 75 yards and a tutty. Second time didn't go swimmingly. This is their third chance. Rocco Beck, redshirt sophomore. Wants to throw. Quick hitter. It is caught. Right across the middle. Out to the 50-yard line. Big pitching catch to Jalen Knoll.
I tell you what made this play really work right here. You talk about the mesh and the fake underneath. Just really attracted like flies. Everybody up to the line of scrimmage, and he pulls that ball. That's some of that coolness that I talked about at the top of the show. Beck is a cool customer under center, man. Consistent.
Second catch for Knoll. He's been explosive. Nothing new. Little dead leg in the hole. Abu Sama doesn't work. Got pushed backwards.
Tell you what, Malachi McNeil, the inside linebacker, did a wonderful job of stopping him. That's a back right there who can make you miss in a phone booth. I mean, he's got that kind of short area at burst and balance of power that we saw demonstrated as a freshman. He's unbelievable. He can embarrass you if you're not careful.
Carson Brown comes into the game at one of the receiver spots. He's number 32. First time we've seen him. And the pass is caught in traffic. That's close to the first down marker. Making the big catch as per usual is Eli Green. It's an important game for Eli Green. He played last year at North Dakota State.
Yeah, Dylan Boker, number 32, the wheel linebacker, was in coverage on that last play. And you talk about the placement of that ball, that's what made that play successful.
3rd down and 1. Opportunity to play with some power, and it works. That'll be a first down run for Carson Hansen. Chains move.
Albert Hill again, Josh, the outside linebacker on this play here. Inside zone set up against the power. In other words, the tight end is on the opposite side. He comes down and comes across the formation, finds a nice little soft void, but wonderful job of playing off of the blocker. That's Malachi McNeil, number 36, again with another tackle.
It's been the longest time that we haven't talked about a tight end with Iowa State football in years. Tight end hadn't been targeted so far here in our first quarter, and now I think we're going to talk about a tight end because of a penalty.
Bench, number 66. 5-yard.
So that's the first penalty for either team. It's backwards 5 for Iowa State.
Yeah, that's Tyler Miller right there. Gets called with the penalty, and typically he's going to be at that right tackle spot. Redshirt senior out of Green Country. Good athlete. Depth is always a positive for this unit, and you don't see those types of mistakes, though. That's not what Mike Campbell's all about.
5 receiver formation.
A little tight bunch formation down to the short side of the field. Let's see if they can sort this out. Nice.
Another quick hitter. And out to the 41-yard line. It's the first time we've seen Jalen Jackson catch a pass.
Well, this is Jack Barrett's number 48, the middle linebacker inside. Once they sort this little short bunch formation out, and it can be a bugaboo to deal with because of those stacked guys on top of one another, you've got to say, hey, look, none of those guys affect me. I'm going to leave those little pencil necks alone. I'm going to go get the back. That's the goods.
2nd down at 12. Here's a blitz, picked up, and the pass is too high. It'll bring up 3rd down. He was looking in the direction of Eli Green.
That's the second time, Eric, that we've seen that ball kind of go high to the left side on those 3/4 field throws. And again, those are next level throws, and maybe that's one aspect of the game that we're going to see them steer away from if they don't have success soon enough, because we know this guy can throw the ball, but that's one area and one pass in particular that he's had problems with.
3rd down at 12.
Trips to the wide side. Let's see.
2 tight end formation. And Bramer, one of those 2 tight ends. That's his first target of the year, and it's incomplete off the fingertips. And Beck upset with himself. I'm assuming the offense will have to leave the field. It's 4th and 12.
Yeah, that's a shame, too, because Raymer's like 6'7", right, 240. You use that length to catch them. Now, that's a tough ball, hands catch. Maybe the hands are out. Maybe they should be turned opposite direction. Even still, that ball was placed on the edge of his tips. But it's 6'7". One of the reasons why these guys are so long, and Matt likes them, is because they can make those types of catches.
So after the opening touchdown, 2 plays, 75 yards, opening drive of the season, back-to-back drives have been fruitless for Iowa State.
Wow, what a great play.
Brilliant special teams, and the ball is down at the 2-yard line. That was Jace Gilbert as the kicker, the punter that time. First time we've seen Gilbert.
Well, watch Gilbert come down here and put that ball back in play. And again, it may have careened off his arm, but the bottom line is to have the presence of mind not to go headlong into the end zone so as to negate that great effort. Wonderful awareness, special teams. And I can tell you, Eric, as an old special teams guy right there, that one won't get you an apple in a roadmap. That's a good thing. That's how you stay in uniform.
We talked about Darian Porter beginning of the game because he's a 6th-year guy. He could have left. He hadn't started in the first 5 years. He's always been a special teams ace, and he shows you what he can do.
Well, I'll tell you, that's how you make rosters anymore these days. Everybody's playing their top-tier players, at least a few of them on special teams.
Sawyer Seidel is in the backfield.
Back door.
And look at this. Like he shot out of a cannon out to the 21-yard line.
Now, they come. That number's going to be important.
Ball's on the 21-yard line. They give it to Seidel. Second consecutive carry for Seidel. This time he gets it to the 25-yard line. A pickup of 4. Bo Freeler led the team in tackles last year. Comes up and makes the pop.
Bo's going to be active again. All these safeties are going to be active because that's what they are. They're the center point of John Hickok's defensive structure. 3-cloud coverage, man. It's tough to defense. Came on the scene about 4 years ago and threw everybody for a loop.
Just 1 touch for Bo Belquist in our first quarter. Maybe this is Bo Belquist time here. He goes in motion. Draws a crowd. Rumpo has to run it. And he's out to the 27-yard line, well shy of the line to gain. And the punt team will have to come on. Jacob Ellis, among others, making that tackle.
Yeah, I think a couple of guys were involved in that. Akima Izogo was tracking him down from the back end and chased him all the way to the other side. So he had pressure from behind and the short side of the field as well. Great defense.
Got my down strong. It's 3rd down. It's 3rd down at 4. Simon Rumpo making his first collegiate start. He was 37-0 as a starting quarterback in high school. This guy's a winner. What's he got for a 3rd down? He's got close to the 1st down marker. Belquist with the grab. Did he have enough?
Partner, he may have given it to him. Man, I think they're going to call this a first.
Oh, they did. They did. It's a 1st down for North Dakota.
I'll tell you what, you can't get any more positive in terms of the placement and where the ball is and what he needed to get. Usually if you can, and he was just about a yard above the 1st down marker, the line to gain, and you can see it there. He caught that ball and was pushed backwards. So heads up by the side judge for spotting that properly.
Jeremiah Cooper popped him, but it was too late. 1st down. Little shake in the hole, Isaiah Smith. Tackled right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of a yard, maybe 2.
Yeah, Isaiah's just inundated with defensive players. They're great job of just getting the ball back to the line of scrimmage and leaning forward for a couple of yards. Porter and company all over him, man. Great defense.
North Dakota last year was a FCS playoff team, lost in the 1st round against Sacramento State. This year, a lot of ballyhoo. They're ranked 22nd in the FCS coaches poll to begin the season. Now in the 11th year, calling the shots, Bubba Schweigert.
Yeah, great Bubba. He's a great leader, man. He's got a great reputation for doing what he does and been around the game for a long time.
3rd down at 3. The power back. Zebarth back into the game. Design rollout. Caught. That's going to be a first down. Belquist has another first down. That's smart football. Get it to your best player on third down and short somehow.
Well, he had pressure all in his face, and it was a good job of him of getting rid of the ball. You can see him, the innermost of these three receivers here. It comes inside and should get a natural rub off of that, and did do it. But ball was a little bit late.
12 first downs in our game, 7 for North Dakota, 5 for Iowa State. That's why they play the games. Rumpo, Belquist. Third catch on this drive for Bo Belquist. Came into this game with 206 career catches and 20 touchdowns.
Well, they're trying to find that one-on-one matchup, but you see two defenders always on Belquist. No matter where he goes, you're going to see two guys he's got to contend with. That's a tough order.
Zebarth,
wow,
rocked in the backfield. So Zebarth goes backwards on second down.
Jontez Williams was there first, and you can see him coming up on the edge, diagnosing this play. Watch him on the edge in the corner. He kind of slides outside and sees he's got a big tackle in his face and just knifes right underneath him. Let me tell you something. That's a next level play right there. A guy understanding the differential in terms of weight, but willing to go through and up the field to make a play. Outstanding.
Plenty of time on that play clock. Rumpo communicating with his line. Third down. Belquist, another first down. Third consecutive first down grab for Bo Belquist.
And despite the pressure big time in his face, Belquist on the receiving end of this one, Simon does a wonderful job of anticipating the pressure coming and watch him get rid of that ball and stand right in there. I mean, that's really the poise you need to have success now. 5 of 7 on third down. They're putting in some serious numbers here against this Cyclone back end.
Belquist comes out of the game, briefly you'd assume. 11th play of the drive. Zebarth will stutter in the hole and crosses the 40. Just trucks Jacob Ellis at the end of the run.
I tell you, you get those kind of yards on first down right there. Now you're going to put them in run conflict scenario. 3-man front once again. I've got my 5 on your 3. You want to stack your guys on top of one another. Watch me run right through them. Know where you're going to do it. Zamir Hawk was trying to defend him, and he just runs right through him, man. That's tremendous power.
New linebacker comes into the game. John Klosterman, number 22, sophomore from Iowa City. Play action, tipped, incomplete. Closest man to it was Klosterman, who just came into the game.
Well, partner, there's a lot of ways where you can affect the quarterback. If you can't get home physically there, get those hands up in the air and deflect the ball. An outstanding job, and some of these fleet-foot linebackers and safeties can get enough speed to get underneath it and send it the other way.
All right, on third down, Iowa State needs to figure out where Bo Belquist is. Belquist already with 3 first down grabs on this drive, all coming on third down. And a timeout called by North Dakota.
And partner, I think you're getting ready to say this, the 13th play of that drive. That's a big deal here. They're taking it.
We've got a timeout. North Dakota wants to discuss this important third down call.
It's worthy of the sauce. Try one of 5 signature flavors, drizzled, drenched, and dripping on original recipe chicken nuggets. Grab 10 for just $5.99.
Big drip, big drip, big drip, big drip, big drip.
Honey? But the gains are pumping.
Yeah, the market's closed.
Futures don't sleep in the after hours, bro.
Dad, is Mommy a finance bro?
She switched careers to make money for your weddings.
Ooh, penny stocks are blowing up. Sweetie, grab your piggy bank. We're going all in. Let me ask you, for your wedding, do you want a gazebo and a river?
I don't... What's a gazebo?
Something that your mother always wanted and never got.
Or you could give these different investment options a shot.
The right money moves aren't as aggressive as you think.
I'm keeping the best.
I'm lucky. I found the one thing that I was put on this earth to do. And every day, as I inch one step closer to my vision, it reminds me that making it in life is all about the making.
At Ram, our calling is to build trucks. So when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering it.
Right now during the Ram Labor Day sales event, get $3,000 cash allowance plus no monthly payments for 90 days on the purchase of most 2025 Ram 1500 trucks.
Whoa, it's the Capital One Bank guy.
That's me.
So, what do you do outside of the Capital One Cafe?
What do you mean? No fees on checking accounts and no overdraft fees help me sleep at night. What's in your wallet?
Matt Olson and the Braves battle Bryce Harper and the Phillies. Or William Contreras and the Brewers take on Ellie De La Cruz and the Reds. It's baseball night in America on Fox.
It is 3rd down and 2. 8:49 remaining here in our first half. Bo Bilquist has been the best friend of Simon Rumfo here on this drive. First 2 drives, just 1 target, 1 catch, 1 yard. This drive, 4 catches, 3 of them have resulted in first downs.
He's a chain mover. He's 25th in the nation in receptions. 5.5 doesn't seem like a ton, but you add that together, that's a first down, just 2 catches.
Belquist, bottom of your screen, lined up wide. Little dump down. That's going to be enough for the first down. Nice play. Jaden Norby, first touch, senior captain from Ashby, Minnesota.
Malik Verdon on the tackle there. And again, I think what you're seeing here is a kind of a minimalist way of playing this game. You got to be mindful. If you get these one-on-one matchups out here underneath, you better understand that there's nobody behind you when it's man-on-man coverage. So the type of tackling technique that we're seeing right now from John Haycock's defense is going to work, but it's going to work on the short side of the field. If you try to make that tackle against an athletic guy on the wide side of the field, he's going to make you miss.
First down opportunity. Rumpo wants to throw.
Nice.
Back out of the backfield. This is Seidel. And he picks up 5, maybe 6 yards on first down.
I absolutely love Isaac Fructe's understanding of what's happening, Fricte's understanding of what's happening in this game and using the breadth and width of the field to stretch this Cyclone defense. He is painting right now what I call, partner, from left to right, and it's putting stress on this defense.
This is going to be the 15th play of the drive. Good golly.
I think I told your stats guy to track one. He says, is there one stat you want to track? I said, when I want the time of possession. That's what I'm looking at.
North Dakota's dominating. Beautiful run by Seidel. He was caught in the backfield, nowhere to go, busts the tackle, and gets close to the first down marker. So we've seen equal amounts of Seidel, Zebarth, and Isaiah Smith running the football. 3 different runners here in the first half for the Fighting Hawks.
And you remember on our call, partner, when we're talking to coaches, and again, I said, hey, Coach, this offensive coordinator's new for the first time. I want to know, are you a formula guy or are you a feel guy? He kind of hem-hawed around and just a little bit, eventually got to it and said, well, I'm a little bit of both. And you're seeing that right now. You saw some of the formula early on. Now you're seeing them mix it up. Tight formation here, short yardage.
3rd and 1. That's the tight end, Quincy Vaughn, with the direct snap. And he powers forward for the first down. So they take the smallish Rumfo out of the game, 5'11", 190. They replace him with Quincy Vaughn, 6'4", 260, and they play power football.
And it's working for them. And again, there's a short-term benefit and there's a long-term benefit. The long-term benefit is if you're Matt Campbell on the other side, you start to change your thinking a little bit, right? You start to regress back toward the mean or the average way of thinking, and that is running the football, getting your tight ends involved. That's exactly what North Dakota wants to happen.
They're going to take a shot at some point.
Got him.
Rumfo's pass is incomplete. You think Belquist was open, huh?
Oh, my gosh. Because, number one, it was a single safety high, and Belquist had done a wonderful job of stretching that corner to the edge, and then he could have bent the ball back inside, and the ball didn't have to be accurate. He could have just thrown it in that grass area. Throw it where the grass is uncovered, and that's an opportunity right there. So they got to find a way to make an adjustment and take advantage of the field.
2nd down and 10. 6:01 remaining in our first half. This is the 18th play of the drive. Play action. Out in space, Caden Dennis. He gets to the 20. It'll be 3rd down and manageable. Spencer, there's a chance that North Dakota is going to go the rest of the year. This is going to be the longest drive that they have.
Absolutely, and it's against a good team. But what is it going to do for their confidence? If they can do this against one of the leading defensive stop units, not just in the conference, but in the nation, perennially for the last 3 years, that's going to be impressive. That's going to help you. Confidence comes from demonstrated ability. If you do this out here, that's going to carry over.
Fighting Hawks are 5 for 5 on third down on this drive. Belquist has got it, trying to fight forward, and he is right at the marker. That's the 4th first down catch on third down for Belquist this drive.
Well, I tell you what, Isaac Frichte, the offensive coordinator for North Dakota, is picking a street fight right now. He's saying, you know what, I'm going to run this power wham. It's basically a screen, but he's going to do it to the short side of the field and challenge your men against mine. In a short area like that, man, that's pretty impressive. Takes a lot of courage to make that call.
Clock continues to move. Under 5 minutes remaining here in our second quarter. Remember, this drive started in the first quarter. Already 10 minutes and change have come off the game clock. This is an official timeout. And I think North Dakota's coaching staff is trying to use it as one of their timeouts. Have a confab on the sidelines.
It's week 1. It's early.
Awaiting the 20th play of this drive. If you don't get a touchdown here, what a disappointment this would be for North Dakota. To take this much time off the game clock, to execute so well, you got to get 6. First down, Rumpho. Tons of time. No one's open. And Rumpho is sacked. That's a coverage sack if ever there was one.
And it really was, because they went empty. They got 5 guys in the route right there. So one of them has got to get open. Somebody has got to win, right? You got those 3 safeties back there. We understand that Singleton and company was putting pressure on them. But watch these 3 men up top, 2 at the bottom, and then not to be able to get this ball open to one of your guys. I think that's problematic. That's disappointing on this play.
Both J.R. Singleton and Joey Peterson jumping on top of Rumpho. It's a loss of 5. Isaiah Smith in the backfield next to Rumpho. Rumpho, good play action. Dump fake gets him down inside the 10. He faked out everyone in the building with that little simple pump fake. Finally tackled by Verdon, but it'll be third down.
If you're an edge rusher, your primary responsibility is containment, right? When you've got a quarterback that's savvy enough to push you to the limit, to create a 2-way go, you need to play him with leverage. That means inside out. Let him go to the outside. You're probably going to be faster than him if you're on the edge in the first place. Poor technique on that play.
North Dakota 6 for 6 on third down on this drive alone. Where's Belquist? Slot top of your screen. Oh, is it incomplete? It is incomplete.
I don't know. I think they gave it to him.
One official says incomplete.
They're going to confer, but the side judge on this side said that he got his hands underneath.
Oh, I saw the other official wave his arms, no catch. It is an interception. It's an interception by Bo Freeler. I don't know if it's going to hold up, though.
Oh, yeah, that looks a little bit different from the back end, then. Let's see if Bo gets his hand underneath this 17 right here. Ball's up in the air. No, I think the nose of that ball touches the turf.
Yeah. Well, we will see. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and see what the ruling is. 3:04 remaining, second quarter.
Please direct your attention to the video.
When the sawdust settles and the engine finally roars, the thing you care about most is a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe no matter what you're working on, you need high-quality tools at a great price. And that's what we're all about. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Thank you, Cleveland!
Did someone order wings?
Do you have subscriptions that are forgotten or even hidden?
You need to exercise.
Now, Experience shows you your subscriptions in one place.
I'm mostly accurate.
Then you could save money by easily canceling the ones you don't want.
No. Don't you cancel me. Oh?
See how much you could save. Download the Experian app now.
Isn't it absolutely bonkers that you can walk into a store, hand someone a piece of plastic, and they will willingly hand over Reese's cups? Forget flying cars. This is it. We're at the pinnacle.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Okay, let's get going. Can everybody see that?
Like, you know, to check your desktop first before sharing your screen.
Ah, that is not the, oh, no. I don't know how that got in there. No, that,
Yeah, checking first is smart.
Okay, everybody get out.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
You can only get Wendy's new saucy nugs at Wendy's. So if anyone ever tries to tell you they have saucy nugs at home, you might want to see what else they're hiding, because that person lies. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
You're no one until you're talked about.
I have an army to build, a school to take over, and girls to blackmail. XOXO. Gossip Girl.
Big break for North Dakota. What had been called an interception for Bo Freeler during that last timeout was overturned. Official review said the ball hit the ground, so it's an incompletion, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Matt's going to call a timeout here and kind of set this up, because after that completion, maybe the mindset was we're going to get the ball back on our side, but not enough time to understand the context. You're in this, what we call the green, getting close to that 5-yard inside. Everything changes, partner.
We'll take the timeout as well. 4th down call when we return.
Type 2 diabetes? Discover the Ozempic Trizone. Ozempic! I got the power of 3. I lowered my A1C, CV risk, and lost some weight.
In studies, the majority of people reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it.
I'm under 7.
Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events such as stroke, heart attack, or death in adults also with known heart disease.
I'm lowering my risk.
Adults lost up to 14 pounds.
I lost some weight.
Ozempic isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take Ozempic if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Gallbladder problems may occur. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems. Living with type 2 diabetes?
Ask about the power of 3 with Ozempic.
A mystery.
Jesse loves playing detective.
But the real mystery was your irritated skin. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. It cleans better and doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
And it's gentle on her skin.
Hey, that's great. But who are the chefs?
Rookie mistake?
Great googly moogly.
Maybe you just need a Snickers.
To really embrace life, you just have to learn to let go.
Let go.
That's right, let go.
Let go.
I did let go. Did you let go?
My goodness! Don't miss the Women's College Volleyball Showcase. 4 elite programs start their seasons with a test against the nation's top teams. It all begins with Texas, Wisconsin, Sunday at 12:30 Eastern on Fox.
Rumpel's the... Welcome back, everyone. 3:04 remaining second quarter after 22 plays in 88 yards. North Dakota's going to bring on the kick team. C.J. Elrick is going to be the kicker. The holder is Simon Rumpel, the quarterback. Keep that in mind. Rumpel, he clearly can do a lot of different things. He's the holder. Ball will be spotted at the 16-yard line. This will be a 26-yard field goal attempt. Elrich. Standard issue. First points of the year for North Dakota. 26-yard field goal that culminates a 23-play drive. Just for reference, last year, North Dakota's longest drive of the season was 16 plays.
Holy doctor.
That was 23.
Yeah, how about the 12 minutes and 24 seconds they run off doing that stretch? That's what's impressive.
Good golly.
Hey, listen.
That's over 20% of the game.
It's incredible, man. I mean, if you're the Cyclones, you got to be thinking on offense. I got to get lathered up again. I got to figure out a way to get some rhythm. And if you're a coordinator trying to do this for the first time, breaking in your offensive scheme, if you're Taylor Mauser, man, I'm saying, hey, what am I going to do here? You know the big strike capability is there, but that's not your identity. That's not who you are. So Matt Campbell in his 9th season is trying to find a way to get back on track.
Jalen Knoll back deep for Iowa State.
That'll be a flag.
And that goes out of bounds. That's not good. Oh, my goodness. So, Iowa State's going to get great starting field position.
Well, no matter the struggles that Cyclones have had, there's no way that you want to give them a shorter field to work with than what otherwise. You look at the total time of possession, 21 minutes and 41 seconds that Hawks have had the ball compared to 5 minutes and 19 seconds. I mean, that's a threefold, man. That's just absolutely incredible.
Well, it shows you how weird time of possession is, though. The shortest time of possession for either side in this game was the one that resulted in the touchdown. That was the very first drive of the game. 2 plays, 75 yards, and a touchdown for Iowa State.
Well, you're crack crews all over that time of possession, man, and that was one of the things that I thought would be a key to success for North Dakota, and it sure has not proven false.
From the 35-yard line, pitch and catch. That's Higgins with the grab. Higgins has the game's only touchdown. Happened in the first quarter. Gain of 11. Higgins and Knoll are 2 stars.
Yeah, and Avery Scott's got to be mindful of this. Number 28, he comes inside and out. It's a nice little inside pivot route. He goes to the check down, and if you're going to put your head down, brother, you're going to miss most of the time. You got to put your head across the bow of his breastplate and drive him out of bounds.
Higgins last year, 983 yards receiving to lead the team. Not too far behind is Jalen Knoll. Becht, pitch and catch again. This time, Knoll. Ball comes out late. Whistle had blown.
I think they're going to blow this down, but I tell you what, the pads are popping, man. They're flying around.
Clock continues to move. Once we get to that 2-minute mark, folks, it's going to be the brand new 2-minute timeout.
Ah, yes.
Is everyone familiar with the 2-minute timeout? Well, we're going to get familiar with it. Clock stops 2.00, and we'll get a chance to catch our breath before we play the final 120 seconds of our first half.
The tradition, the atmosphere, the pageantry, and the passion. It's Big Noon Saturday.
Quinn Ewers in Texas. Head to the legendary Big House. Watch out! It's Big Noon Saturday on Fox.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. With Skyrizi, feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks. Many people were in remission at 12 weeks, 1 year, and even at 2 years.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Skyrizi. AbbVie could help you save.
Tonight, in your spacious La Quinta suite, your eyes could use a break after a long day of seeing, things. But hey, free waffles always make you forget. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine.
To get to this hot, melty goodness, our pizzas have to go through this.
Topping distribution, horrible. That's fair. Terrible. Pathetic. It's indefinite. Yes.
Introducing Domino's Quality Captains, how perfect pizza gets made.
The perfect morning calls for the perfect, ridiculously craveable pairing. Jimmy Dean Griddle Cakes. Your family's pancakey, sausagey, griddle cakey, sweet and savory favorite.
If you have to cut, pack, drive, scout, weld, stack, feed, pull, load, tow, drop, and haul all in a single day, then you just have to get in the seat of the new John Deere Gator XUV. Learn more at your John Deere dealer.
You don't need the same Duracell batteries that help power Williams Racing. Until you do. Duracell is a proud partner of Williams Racing.
Coming up on the State Farm halftime, number 1 Georgia makes a huge statement against Clemson while Tennessee lights up the scoreboard in Knoxville. And Iowa starts the season with a new offensive coordinator, but without its head coach. Eric and Spencer, back to you.
I always associate Mike Hill with Saturdays and smiles, man.
What a great
if we work
story.
with Mike Hill, man, you know it's going to be a good day.
Oh, you do, man. He's such a great spirit in the story. Come back from adversity. No one did it better than he did.
2 minutes remaining here in our first half. Iowa State with the football, 2nd down and 6. Becht, pocket collapses, uses those good legs. And he is close to the first down marker, but he's just a bit short. Clock moving, 1:46 and counting.
You saw some of that elusive ability. He's one of the least sacked quarterbacks in all of college football. You saw why there.
3rd and 1. First down carry, Carson Hansen. Now we're inside 2 minutes. The clock stops as they move the chains. Clock moving again. Iowa State with 2 timeouts if they want them. Out in space. Caught by Eli Green. Out of. Nope, didn't get out of bounds. So the clock continues to move. Gain of 6.
Navaratil, Josh, number 34, out there defending on the boundary. That's a lot to ask an outside linebacker on a receiver.
Back to Dart. Caught. Down to the 15-yard line. That's Knoll.
Jai Martin was sitting there back number 4, and he slipped down just a little bit. You'll see number 4. After he clears here in the inside slot position, Knoll goes down, breaks, pivot, and presents his numbers really quick. And you can see on the back end the safety just fell.
To the end zone. Touchdown. Jalen Knoll. Rocco Becht paid the price, but he finds glory in the end zone. 2nd touchdown for the Cyclones.
Well, you can see Knoll is looking inside. He knows right now, but he's got to keep this thing skinny, meaning don't bend it in toward that safety that's just waiting to pop him upside the head. Stay skinny and keep it vertical. Rocco, despite, as you said, partner, took the blow, but he delivered a dart on the back end.
Conradi comes on for the extra point. Seven plays, 65 yards. In 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
That's got to be encouraging because, you know, Matt was telling me yesterday that he took his team through the most difficult preseason he's had in a long time. It was intentionally, camp was intentionally made difficult. And but for that touchdown right there, it would have been negated because the way the Hogs had possessed the ball and controlled this game before then looked like it didn't pay off.
This is the hit on Becht.
Yep, you can see again, it's just a guy comes unabated, put that head down. That could be questionable as far as targeting is concerned. It wasn't the head shoulder area, but that leading with that helmet like that, this gets dangerous.
That was Malachi McNeil on the hit. 2nd touchdown, 2nd extra point for Iowa State. Their lead is now 11. 14-3 is our score. On that drive, Rocco Becht goes 4 for 4 and used his legs to run for a first down.
And it's impressive, too, because the ability to do that, you know, Taylor Mauser, the offensive coordinator, mixed up things, knew that the context was hurried. They were going to have to get those points quickly. Now you basically flip the script, and you're going to go in halftime with a little bit more momentum and a little bit more courage.
.48 seconds here in our second quarter. North Dakota, do they have the type of offense that can get yards in chunks? How aggressive will they play this?
Yeah, partner, I think what you're finding out in this game kind of as a big picture thought is the closer that this North Dakota team got to the area, you started to see the athletic differential make a difference because you got to win individual battles once you get inside the 20. They just weren't able to do that. They can manage things and work things up and be creative offensively like Isaac Frichte did to get him in that position, but you got to win down here with athleticism.
Another touchback. Next week, how about this? Possibly the game of the year is here already on Big Noon Saturday. You got the 4th-ranked Texas Longhorns going to take on the 9th-ranked Michigan Wolverines in the Big House. Start your Saturday 9 a.m. Eastern with Big Noon kickoff live from Ann Arbor. And then it's Texas, Michigan at noon on Fox.
I tell you, tall orders for the Wolverines, man, coming off that national championship. And Sharon's got his hands full and got other issues off the field that are plaguing him a little bit. But, hey, can he keep them focused? I think he's the right call to be their head man. It's an outstanding program.
Great opportunity for Texas, too. Texas in the Big House. You don't say that very often.
You don't.
Little screen. Flag is down. This is Isaiah Smith.
Wow.
And Smith, look at him go! Across the 50 down to the 41, and that is not a flag down. And that's just someone's hanky. That's going to count, folks.
I tell you what, if Bo Freeler doesn't catch him from his strong safety position, he hits his head on the goalpost, man. That's just an unbelievable job of motor scooting down that sideline.
Yeah, that's just yellow tape on the field, folks. That stands a huge play, 34 yards on first down. And now all of a sudden, North Dakota dreaming big dreams.
Just a 3-man front. He should have time.
Rumpel spits it out, incomplete. Looking for Caden Dennis. Fighting Hawks have 2 timeouts.
You know, Coach Bubba Swigert knows that they can't live off of a 3-man rush, able to get pressure like that and affect them. The back end numbers, that is the number of defenders that you have from a defense to cover those 3, maximum 5 receivers, you're outnumbered. And Bubba knows that. He's got to find some solutions down here. You got 5 guys to block their 3 down linemen. Got to protect.
The star for North Dakota, Bo Belquist. Bottom of your screen, right on the seam. Right on the hash marks.
Just a 3-man rush, playing zone coverage behind him.
Rumpel gets down to the 36-yard line. Tyler Onyedem with the tackle. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
Well, those yards are going to be there all day. You know, as long as you just rush in 3, there are natural holes in a 3-4 scheme right over the guards, right? So if you just back up a little bit and your outside edges take a rush up field, they're going to be natural opportunities to get 3, 4, 5 yards. But they need them in chunks, and they need to eventually get into the end zone.
So they're on the outskirts of field goal range right now. It's 3rd down and 5, 17 seconds remaining in the quarter. North Dakota with 1 timeout remaining. Something to keep an eye on. Put in your back pocket. North Dakota will receive the football to begin our second half.
So if they can get within at least field goal range and get points, have the ball back in the second half, this is a different context, despite the recent Iowa State score.
Fighting Hawks need to get to the 31-yard line. And a whistle before the snap. And a timeout by Iowa State.
Yeah, that was a good timeout, too, because Iowa State was vacillating back and forth between a cover 2 scheme and what we call a 3-cross, which is their traditional formation. And I think it was the formation offensively that was causing the confusion. And rather than allow that play to go off, Matt Campbell says, hey, I got to settle on what we're going to do here defensively so that there's no confusion in the minds of these young players.
Both these sides played postseason football a year ago. Iowa State, they played in the Liberty Bowl, lost to Memphis. North Dakota, they played in the playoffs, FCS playoffs against Sacramento State and lost in the first round.
Yeah, there's no shame with Memphis losing to them, but I think that the problem historically with this program is winning postseason games, right? Being able to win those bowl games is something that's been elusive. They wanted that in a desperate way, particularly after they acquitted themselves on the road to end the regular season and get bowl eligible.
All right, we'll try it again. 3rd down and 5. Rumpel swarmed and brought down.
And nose of the ball just touching the turf there, but
North Dakota, they've got Montana at home next week. Iowa State, they've got Iowa next week. Iowa State and Iowa traditionally playing week 2 of the college football season. All right, North Dakota's got the football. Last time they had it, 23-play drive. Much to their chagrin, only resulted in the 3 points, but 23 plays. It's got a great chance of being the longest drive they'll have all season long.
Let's see what Isaac Frickte has in his bag of tricks. Simon Renfro, this quarterback he'll rely on.
We saw a steady dose of 3 different runners in the first half. It's going to be Sawyer Seidel beginning the game behind Rumpho. Beginning the third quarter behind Rumpho.
They've got him in a pistol formation right behind him, so balance look either way.
And the catch is made right along the sideline. That is Nate DeMontenac. First catch of the year for DeMontenac. Gain of 5.
I like the attitude, getting man coverage on the outside, just trying to win individual matchups. And if they give you any kind of cushion whatsoever, I think this quarterback has proven he's effective enough, accurate enough to take that 5 yards and settle for that.
Last time the quarterback, Simon Rumpho, lost a game as a starting quarterback, he was in 7th grade. The winner, Seidel, is tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Good defensive play by John Tens Williams. Williams is known as the best cover corner for Iowa State, but also helps in run support.
Yeah. You know, Rumpho's got a twin brother he played football with, and they won a state championship, as you said, together, 8 class, and he's a running back on the squad, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Down there.
The best to ever come out of Calvin, North Dakota.
How about that?
Town of 15. 3rd down. Need to get to the 35-yard line. Isaiah Smith in the backfield. Rumpho.
Nice job.
Makes the first man miss. He's got the first down. Out to the 45-yard line. That's the best running play of the day for Rumpho.
An instinctive move there, and looking more like a running back than Rumpho. The only thing, if I'm splitting hairs, you know what I'm going to say back at home. You see him here, but once he takes off, I want you to understand, if you're a running back, you got that mindset, you see the opening instincts, you made one guy miss, put that ball in the opposite hand near the sideline so that you can have that right hand free if you need it. That ball is exposed, man. That's a problem.
I don't think they do that anymore. Is that still coached? Switching hands on the sideline. I love it. Isaiah Smith out across the 50 before he's even touched. That was a 4-yard gain before he was even touched. Results in a gain of 8.
And that's that inexperienced offensive line doing a very experienced, getting experienced results on that series.
Jack Sadowski into the game. Sadowski was a starter all 13 games a year ago for Iowa State as a true freshman linebacker. Didn't start today, but he's on the field now. Caleb Bacon had to leave with an apparent injury in the first quarter. Haven't given an update on him, but he has not returned. Smith didn't get what he needed. It'll bring up 3rd down.
So
Jack Sadowski is the 5th. Rare when you see the back of someone's uniform and you see that V. Jack Sadowski, the 5th. We're talking generations.
I'm telling you, that's a long legacy right there, man.
He is from just outside Chicago, Batavia guy. Matt Campbell has always recruited the Chicagoland well. Zebarth back into the game. They want to play power football. And pushing that line, I don't know. We'll see.
He may be just shy. That side judge is coming in about a foot from where they need to be. But the line judge is going to give him a little bit. He's going to be a couple of lengths short. Oh,
all right.
Wow.
He got it by the length of one of those North Dakota pickled eggs. You ever had a North Dakota pickled egg?
I haven't, man, but they're known for their pork here. So.
Oh, well, this is Iowa, but back in North Dakota. And they put tomato juice in their beer, too. I spent some time in North Dakota.
About that.
Yeah.
Pickled eggs, man.
Pickled eggs. First down at 10. So North Dakota picking up where they left off in that second quarter and then that magical drive. They fake it to Zebarth. Looking for the big shot. Oh, my goodness. That'll be the easiest interception of the year. This is Freeler. had 3 interceptions a year ago, picks up number 1 right there.
That's unfortunate, too, because I like the idea of getting under center on that play. If you notice with the quarterback not in the shotgun, underneath the center, play action, trying to sell it because they've been effective in the run, right? Makes perfectly good sense. Here's your center fielder ID for you, turns, bails, and then settles down real quickly after he IDs the fact that there's no one coming. That ball's batted up in the air, just waiting to play center field. That's a gimme right there. Just the pressure got to him.
So, a turnover, first of the game, gives the ball over to Iowa State.
We gave it class-leading passenger space for ultimate comfort and the confidence of a nationwide dealer network. With the all-new Honda Prologue, we've made it easy to go electric, just like you'd expect from a Honda. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Recipes. Recipes that are more than their ingredients. Recipes written by hand and lost to time can now be analyzed and restored using the power of Dell AI, preserving memories and helping to write new ones.
At Domino's, we've heard in focus groups that some people don't love our classic crust.
Too doughy.
It's not thin enough.
So here's another pizza.
All the ingredients come together.
And so what if I told you this was Domino's?
Good for Domino's, for real.
Introducing Domino's New York Style Pizza. Try it tonight.
You don't need the same Duracell batteries that help power Williams Racing. Until you do. Duracell is a proud partner of Williams Racing.
When the sawdust settles and the engine roars, the thing you care about is the job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels different. Your wallet. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Big Ten sports action never stopped. The Big Ten Plus app. Thousands of non-televised live games and events. Next day on-demand game replays. Multi-view to watch up to 4 games at once. Download the Big Ten Plus app today.
Bo Freeler, his 5th interception, had 3 last year, comes at an opportune time, Spencer Tillman.
Bright lights, long limousines, baby. Woo! That's what it's all about. He's got the belt, and when you get a turnover, you get that, man.
First third quarter possession for Rocco Becht at Iowa State. Inside run, Abu Sama across the 50. 12 yards on the scamper for Sama, sophomore from Des Moines.
Eric, when you come to tackle this guy, you better pack a lunch, man, because he comes and he runs with lean. He's a compact guy, but he runs with the kind of explosiveness and authority. Now, at home now, I'm not comparing him to Walter Payton. I'm just simply saying he's explosive like that at the point of contact. We've already seen him leapfrog over the top of the head of a guy. He's unbelievably athletic.
Say he gained 10 pounds from freshman year to sophomore season. Becht, I think that was a design keeper. Tackle made by Navratil.
It was a Braden Moore, the left defensive end, number 94, pushed him upfield on that particular play. And it was a great job of him playing. And then he had some help from Josh, the outside linebacker. You can see he's in what we call a wide 9 technique, in which you typically don't find a linebacker type. A hybrid position out there. A little bit of defensive end linebacker type slide. You got to be athletic to play that position, and he does it beautifully.
Josh Navratil has a snow clearing business.
Really?
In Grand Forks during the offseason. Sama is pushed back. The mark just inside the 50-yard line, but gets pushed back, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and long. Lance Rucker, among others, on the tackle.
Snow clearing business, man. I remember they wouldn't even let us work when I was playing.
It's a lot of money to be made. Snow clearing in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Gabe Burkle, one of the tight ends, comes into the game. When's the last time you watched an Iowa State game and you never mentioned a tight end catching the ball in a half? That's what happened in our first half.
They got some good ones.
3rd down. Pressure from the edge, throwing on the run, and it's Rucker again. Pass defense by Rucker.
Well, he had one of those tight ends you were just mentioning a minute ago coming on a shallow crossing route, but just threw it to a covered receiver. Here's the look in the frame from the box. You can see the tight end coming across. No one's covering him, right? It's clear and open. He decides to go back to a covered receiver with the high safety over the top of him. That's a tough pitch and catch right there.
Interesting, Iowa State in the first half, they alternated punters. We saw Tyler Perkins, we saw Chase Gilbert. This is Perkins back in. My thought on punters is if you say you got two, you really got none, right? Got to find one good one. 37-yard punt, no return. Back in a moment.
Wendy's has new saucy nugs. And if Wendy's found a way to make their nugs even better, anything is sauceable! For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
Greetings happen.
Hi, cutie.
Yeah, that's not good happens. Huge things happen.
Finally, you see David.
Home happens. Be there with Ring. Learn more at ring.com.
You're no one until you're talked about.
I have an army to build, a school to take over, and girls to blackmail. XOXO. Gossip Girl.
I got this $1,000 camera for only $41 on DealDash.
DealDash.com. Online auctions since 2009. This PlayStation 5 sold for only 50 cents. This iPad Pro sold for less than $34. And this Nintendo Switch sold for less than $20.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56. I got this barbecue smoker for $26.
And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
To stay on top of my game, I need to keep up my energy.
Cliff Bar is purposely crafted with 10 grams of protein and organic oats.
Because the more good you put in, the more great you get out.
Cliff, the most important ingredient is you.
This is Fubo. It's a better way to watch live news, shows, and sports without cable. Watch multiple games at once with Multiview. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Next week, the game of the year. We're calling that already. It's going to come our way big noon Saturday. You got the 4th-ranked Texas Longhorns taking on the 9th-ranked and national champion Michigan Wolverines in the Big House. Start your Saturday 9 a.m. Eastern with big noon kickoff live from Ann Arbor. Then it's Texas, Michigan at noon on Fox.
But what a great opportunity for Texas to kind of make their mark nationally as newly minted members of another conference and the SEC, and it's going to be a special game.
Zebarth has that carry, moves the pile forward 2 yards. Still moving the pile. Oh, man. The boys from Grand Forks just wanted a little bit more right now. That should have been a 1-yard gain. It's going to be a 3-yard gain.
Again, another example of the physicalness and the unanticipated ability for this inexperienced offensive line. Liam Becker and company, Jack Kuntz, all of them. Buck said, we've talked about Ben. That inexperience looks like it's not real. I mean, the way that they're moving about with effectiveness is really something special.
Isaiah Smith replaces Zebarth in the backfield. Smith heads north, gets to the 20. It'll bring up 3rd down and short.
You know, it doesn't look like it's a lot on that run, but that was an Edgerrin James kind of slow to, fast through kind of run. Showing the patience, stretching it as far as it possibly can go. 2-9 did a wonderful job of getting as most as he could and then turning that ball upfield. But you have to be patient to wait till those guys outrun their coverage.
Isaiah Frichte, 33 years of age, calling the shots. First time as a FCS offensive coordinator. And that's giving it up for the first down. Good hard running again, Isaiah Smith. Both Smith and Zebarth a year ago, wonderful yards per carry. Smith was up at 6 yards a carry. Zebarth even better at 6.5 yards per carry.
Yeah, and Jacob Emming, number 12, was in that position to really stop him from doing that. But that little subtleness and the ability to dart in underneath that shows you how special he is. And he's got some great gifts and talents.
Mason South comes in. He'll be the tight end. They move him to the right side of the line. First down play action. Caught. Catch made by Caden Dennis.
I'll tell you, Eric, I'm so impressed with Simon's ability to influence the off-field coverage, whether it's a linebacker or defensive end. When he puts that ball in a seat in the belly and meshes, what we call mesh, that means you ride with the guy, it sells and influences everybody. You saw that whole defensive side move, and even though it was a wide ISO route, the influence and the potential for offensive coordinator to see that and then plan off of that, that's something special from this quarterback.
First college start for Simon Rumpo. Now a junior. He is from Calvin, North Dakota. Population 15.
Nice.
Good pass. Nick Kupfer with the grab. And another first down for the Fighting Hawks.
Now, this is another one of those subtle things, but you saw some accuracy there. Most science says you throw it to the boundaries because it's your friend, right? You don't want it to be intercepted. He threw it inside where the inside receiver has a chance to turn, but if he wants to make a move inside, he can split those two guys instead of turning outside. But the ball has to be placed properly to do that. You got to have confidence.
We've seen a lot of this. Rumpo looks to the sideline and then goes all the way up that line and talks to his lineman, communicating. Play clock down to 7. Not much there at all. Tyler Onyedem with the tackle.
You know, one of the reasons why they're really wasting no time getting back to the huddle and they're going up and down, you know, they've got the ability to communicate this year with the helmet. The helmet is going to shut down from a technology standpoint with 15 seconds before the ball is snapped. But he has the ability, if they get back, to discern what's going on, look to the sideline, and then the 12th man becomes the guy that tells them where to go with the ball.
Third different tailback in the game right now for the Fighting Hawks on this drive. Sawyer Seidel, they fake it to him.
Back shoulder.
I think, was that miscommunication or was it tip?
You nailed it. It was miscommunication because if you feel pressure coming off the backside, you got to know immediately. If you're a receiver, you got to get that head around. Break that route off, and that ball is coming out in a hurry.
So it's 3rd down and 10. We've quickly made it to the 5-minute mark of our third quarter.
This one went by fast.
Fighting Hawks started with the ball in the third quarter. Gave it up. Iowa State had it for a smidge. Now it's North Dakota, 3rd down and 10.
A lot of movement with that left guard.
This could be the first flag of the game enforced against North Dakota.
Prior to the snap, ball starts. Offense number 67. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Liam Beecher, sophomore from Iowa City. First penalty of the season for North Dakota.
Yeah, you know, you're 6'6", 310. Sometimes it's tough to hold your water in here out there. He's worried about getting down and squeezing and helping his guard deal with that immediate pressure. And that's tough for a lineman. You're the in man on the line of scrimmage. You're in a foreign territory. It's loud, and you know you've got to help to your right. You got to hold your water, though.
Belquist, top of your screen. They put him in motion. 3rd down and a whole bunch. Seidel. Pretty good run on 3rd down at 15. He's going to be short of the line to gain, but at least now it's a question. Maybe you go for it on 4th down?
You know, the way they're running the ball, there's a down cyclone on about the 45-yard line there, and we'll assess that. But Bubba Schweiger's got an opportunity to come back here and do something special and go for it. They're on a roll.
So it's 4th down and 5 as we have an official timeout with the player down.
I think he's going to go for it. Bubba just kind of nodded that head, said, all right, this is where we are. Let's go for it. There is Isaac Frichte, offensive coordinator.
This is a game with 2 33-year-old offensive coordinators.
How about that?
Isaac Frichte, North Dakota. Taylor Mauser replacing Nathan Shieldhouse at Iowa State.
And that's big shoes to fill. You know, Shieldhouse got the Rams job as the play pass coordinator, and saw him a couple of weeks ago in Houston when they were meeting with the Texans, and he understood what he was leaving, the opportunity. But this is going to be an opportunity where whoever was going to fill his shoes was going to have great success because of the tools that he's leaving for him.
Well, this Sunday, catch the nation's best as heavyweights of the hardwood collide at the State Farm Women's Volleyball Showcase. #1 Texas going to meet the 3rd-ranked Wisconsin Badgers. 12:30 Sunday, only on Fox. Later on FS1, the #5 Stanford Cardinal going to take on the 18th-ranked Minnesota Golden Gophers. 3 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on FS1.
You know, Stanford perennially a tough, excellent, well-coached team as we watch the Cyclone coming off the field. And
it's Trent Jones.
Yeah, Brent Jones. Yep.
Okay, so that gave Bubba Schweigert some opportunity to think it long and hard about what he wanted to do on 4th and 5.
I think he's going for this.
He's bringing the punt team on.
He's going to punt this, huh? Wow.
He's going to punt the ball. I think he had a little bit of bravado, thinking maybe we should go for it, then thought the better of it. Jalen Noel back deep, explosive for Iowa State. Uh-oh. Trouble! And somehow that ball escapes. Wow! Talking about making something out of nothing. All the way down to the 2!
How about that?
Luke Silvernail just earned the scholarship. What a wonderful play. Ha!
Sometimes it is the artist's task to do his best work with what he has left.
Chase really knows how to put the heart in your local community. See what I did there? Hey, Jackie. Evan, my guy. You helping him with savings, right? I wish I had somebody like Evan when I started. Somebody just got their first debit card. Ice cream on you? Ooh, tacos. I got you. Wait, hold on. Don't you owe me money?
What?
Your money is a part of your community, so your bank should be too, like Chase.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. Moving piles of earth just by moving a lever. Towing up to 4,000 pounds with a machine that weighs less than half that. Cutting grass, clearing the way, and perfecting every inch of your land. We could keep trying to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat. Learn more at johndeere.com/get-in-the-seat.
Sometimes Jonah wrestles with falling asleep, so he takes ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, and wakes up feeling like himself. Get the rest to be your best with non-habit-forming ZzzQuil. Better days start with ZzzQuil nights.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best, because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
T-Mobile savings, take one.
Miss me.
Try just standing and say, at T-Mobile, you get tons of benefits and you can still save versus the other guys. Forget it. Check out the T-Mobile Savings Calculator to see how much you can save.
Are these my only lines?
They sure are.
Our biggest challenge? Uncertainty. Hidden fees, surcharges, who knows what to expect.
Turn shipping to your advantage.
Keep it simple with clear upfront pricing.
With USPS Ground Advantage.
The NFL is back on Fox with a huge doubleheader. First, it's Steelers-Falcons. Then Tom Brady makes his debut in the booth as the Cowboys take on the Browns. It all kicks off September 8th on Fox.
Luke Silvernail made something out of nothing. Snap was low, didn't panic, able to crank off a 49-yard punt that's downed at the 1-yard line.
You talk about performance under pressure. This thing goes between his legs, man. It looks like something from the Harlem Globetrotters, but he twisted it in there, and it comes out on the other end. Kept it low liner, knuckleball. You don't want to even think about handling it if you're a return guy, and it settles down on about the 3-yard line.
Yeah, they put it officially on the 4, so it's a 49-yard boot. 50 years from now, we'll be talking about his beautiful 49-yard punt. Picturesque here at Jack Trice. First down carry, Abu Sama. Sama last year, 276 yards in his breakout game against Kansas State.
You saw just a little bit of the burst there, and if Jet Sutton, the free safety, doesn't get him, let me tell you something. He's going. He's strong, man. He can work and break through those arm tackles. He is a freakish athlete, great skill set.
And that's Sama who's down.
It's not a good thing, man. Wow.
As a freshman, he had 5 plays of 50 yards or more. He appeared to be looking at his ankle area or foot. Yeah, that's
right there.
Tackler lands on you.
That Jet Sutton grabbed that leg, and Jet's the free safety and out of Kansas City, Oak Park. Great athlete, comes from a great family of athletes, and let's just hope that Sam was able to get up from that one.
Yeah, super important game next week, both record-wise and also just institutionally for Iowa State. You're going to take on Iowa. That game means so much to this program, and you need all hands on deck. Hopefully Abu Sama is just more scared than injured.
Yeah, he's walking a little gingerly or running a little gingerly, but he's a tough kid. You can see he's ripped up pretty good. He's put together very well. He's a compact athlete, got great skill set and explosive. But I'll tell you, when you have those kind of fast twitch fiber injuries, it takes a while to get back from, particularly ankles and things of that nature. So you want to make sure he's okay.
Carson Hansen replaces him, number 26. They put Jalen Knoll in motion. They get it to Knoll out in space, and Knoll is quickly tackled. Tyler Erkman
did a wonderful job of catching that one. I mean, stopping that one from being a big play.
Redshirt freshman from Lake Zurich, Illinois, just north of Chicago.
Another one of these young players, a redshirt freshman making plays, man. It's a lot to look forward to.
Okay, fresh set of downs. First down and 10. Ball's at the 16.
Roll into a single high safety look. Let's see how well they cover this play. I'd go to a pass right now.
On the ground, Hansen. Takes a while to bring him down. Tackled at the 20.
And Eric, the reason you don't want to run against that front, anytime you see a single safety down, that tells you the numbers are populated around the line of scrimmage. If there's two safeties back, there's one less guy. So if you're at the line of scrimmage, and I think Rocco is mature enough to see this, he needs to have answers for these kinds of situations because they rolled to that single safety look. That means you got time to say, wait a minute, there's an extra body. We got a run call, need to get out of it. Got to be able to have that flexibility.
Design rollout right side. Caught. Nice play. That's some experience right there. Jaden Higgins with the catch.
Well, he's so accurate on the run. And again, this one's for 12 yards on this play. The outcut, twin receivers to that right side. The innermost of the receiver just goes, sees, keeps those eyes, and then outcut. Nice on that right foot, and then flattens that thing out. Great pitch and catch.
Back to his main weapons. Higgins and Knoll still perfect. 9 for 9 in targets. Look at this. Eli Green spins out of a tackle and gets to the 45. 22 yards for Eli Green, the transfer from North Dakota State.
Taylor Miles are finding success in the short game, right? And here you say, oh, spin, 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 you whirling dervish. Oh, man, that wonderful job of coming out of that one with balance for extra yards.
45 catches a year ago for Eli Green at the FCS level, playing for the Bison. Jalen Jackson in the game as the runner next to Becht. They give it to Jackson. Nice. Little dead leg in the hole, gets down to the 40. Nice gain on first down. 6 yards for Jackson. Jackson's got some starting experience. Last year he played at Eastern Michigan in the MAC. Started all 13 games.
Watching both these teams' offense run and working these running backs, they're running more like water, fluid. They're not trying to create anything. They're just going where the bodies aren't. Just flowing where the opportunities are. Instincts.
Hansen back in. Carson Hansen in the backfield. Catch is made. This is Benny Nagoy to the 30-yard line. Another first down for Iowa State as we go within the minute mark of our third quarter.
Hadn't heard Benny's name in a while. Daniel Jackson out. We knew that third leg of that little stool was going to have to do well. Jaden Higgins, we've seen him, Jalen Knoll, but now you see him come in and do a fantastic job of seating the ball properly and getting up for extra yards.
Nagoy played in just a couple of games a year ago to keep that red shirt. But he is a talented young player.
The thing that jumps out at you, all of these receivers are long, tall.
Sama still out of the game. And another catch out on the perimeter. This time it's Knoll. Knoll has been a busy man. He now has 7 catches. He went over 100 yards a long time ago. Give him 9 more. Second down and 1. First play of the fourth quarter. Becht wants to throw to the end zone. Has a man. It is touchdown, Jaden Higgins. Second touchdown of the ball game for Jaden Higgins, 21 yards. There is a flag down.
Well, they're going to powwow and talk about this, but that takes nothing away from this throw. A dime once again on the fade.
Offense, 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty.
Wow.
3 plays, second down.
Oh boy.
Well, you got to have 7 on the line of scrimmage, and so 5 of them obviously were in the backfield. And so 82's off the ball. He's not covered up, so the ball's up. And look how beautiful this is. A little slight touch, push off on the back end of it, but a wonderful throw. Antonio Blue at the left cornerback was back there beating on that play, and it's going to be negated because of 5 men in the backfield.
So a huge break for North Dakota. They stay in this ball game. It's still just an 11-point stiff arm. And it is a 2nd and 6. The ball's been moved back to the 26-yard line. Knoll. For Knoll, that is now 8 catches in 8 targets. Navratil with the tackle.
Navratil did a wonderful job of playing with leverage on that play. You know, really effective defense is understanding the structure and function. You don't have to work so hard. You just got to know where everybody is. And if you've got help inside, make it easy on yourself. Take one side away and understand your teammate is coming to the posse.
Jalen Knoll came into this game with 165 career catches. He has added 8 to that total. He has tied his career high for catches in a game. 8 catches, 134 yards. 10th play of this drive. Longest drive of the game for the Cyclones. Becht caught again. It's Higgins down to the 9-yard line.
Well, this is a game about matchups, right? You see Higgins on the inside, and you can see Jaden Higgins is salivating. Why? Because the closest guy to him is a linebacker trying to cover him in the flats. And that's a steal. That's like giving me money, right? Taken away from him, and then Rocco sees where the opportunity is. It's about matchups. IDing it, executing it. Unbelievable.
Ball started on the 4-yard line. That's where this drive originated. End zone. Incomplete. There is a flag down. Looking for Nagoy in the end zone, and that's going to go against
Avery Scott. Yep.
Now, Avery Scott is the guy who was all over Nagoy.
So press coverage on the outside. So Scott's going to give him the outside, but he's got those eyes up in the air. You know what? That's a picky call as far as I'm concerned.
Number 28. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
You know, Scott's got his body and his eyes, and I understand the arm was extended, but he's got his eyes and his body oriented toward the ball as if to indicate, hey, it's just as much my ball as it is your ball. So I want to let those guys play in those scenarios, Eric. I think that was a little tacky to me.
I agree with you on that. Give him a chance to make a play on the ball as well. It's one-on-one out there. So the ball is moved inside the 5 down to the 2. It'll be 1st and goal at the 2, power formation. With all the tight ends the Cyclones have, this is advantage Iowa State. Hansen didn't get there. Ball comes out late, but the whistle had blown.
Malachi McNeil was the lead hawk in that little scrum, man, and he comes in there with the body leverage. Here, this is about physics, folks. Low man wins. You can get underneath those pads, stand a guy up. Even if you're smaller, it's a wedge. It's like a wedge. You can put a pebble on a rail. It can stop a 1600 AC locomotive, brother. It'll stop it in its track.
I don't know about all that. 2nd down and goal. They put Steve-O Klotz in motion. Beck takes it himself, and he'll... I still haven't signaled yet. I don't know why not. Touchdown, Iowa State! Took a while. Cyclones don't care. They needed the 6.
Well, it's just this basic football right here. Power play, find a little soft spot in that void and challenge that offensive line to get better push, and you should. You weigh, on average, about 12 to 17 pounds more than your opposition. Great job of navigating down, and 12 plays, 96 yards on that particular possession. It's a wonderful display of how to play the game when you need to. We saw the big strike capability in the opening drive and then early in the second half, but not until then. Now we're mixing it up.
Conradi for the extra point. And he continues to be perfect today, 3 for 3. And the lead is 18. 21-3 is your score. Iowa State leads North Dakota.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
4 delicious pieces of chocolate, 3 crisp wafers, 2 layers of sweet Kit Kat filling, 1 incredible break. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. Now served up in birthday cake.
This is it. One play. This is when we find out.
Hey, quick question. Student body math proficiency. What do we say? It's good, fair, satisfactory? What? Like a percentage, if you had to guess.
Get out of here, man.
Understood.
Hey, grab it.
Great student-teacher ratio.
Marcy! We gotta go! Marcy! We have got to go!
We bring you the real in-depth school info.
What were you thinking?
I don't know.
Ding dong.
Homes.com.
The perfect morning calls for the perfect ridiculously craveable pairing. Jimmy Dean griddle cakes. Your family's pancakey, sausagey, griddle cakey, sweet and savory favorite.
Hell, doing dude stuff.
Oh, that is not whipped cream.
Universal Basic Guys, September 8th on Fox.
Welcome back, everyone. Jack Trice Stadium. 50 years now this place has been hosting Iowa State football games. Second largest venue in the Big 12 these days. And how about the youngster Rocco Becht, last year's Big 12 Freshman of the Year, coming of age here in the 2024 season, going 7 for 7 on that last drive and rushing in the touchdown.
Beck saying, I will take charge of this game in the spirit of this 50th anniversary, right? Jack Trice Stadium.
For those who don't know, Jack Trice Stadium, named for Jack Trice. This is the only FBS school with a stadium named after an African American. That deserves to be said every single game. Spinning kickoff into the end zone, actually glances off the back of the returner, Seidel, and it goes through the end zone. And we'll take a timeout. When we come back, North Dakota reeling right now. They'll have the football.
The NFL is back on Fox for a season like no other.
1, 2, 3, go!
It all kicks off with a huge Week 1 doubleheader. First, the Russell Wilson era begins for the Steelers against the Falcons.
Oh, what a play!
Then Tom Brady makes his debut in the booth for America's Game of the Week as Dak leads the boys.
Holy cow!
Against Watson and the Browns.
For the touchdown!
It all kicks off September 8th on Fox, home of Super Bowl 59.
Hey, Granny! Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a love off Annie. Take a love for free.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western.
Thanks. What'd you get? Oh, I got another double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double hot, double calf, double sleeve. Hey, did you know that Discover doubles your cash back at the end of the first year?
You are cut off.
You earn, we match.
Debbie.
Unlimited cashback match.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check the weather first before sailing.
It's gonna get nasty later.
Yep.
Hey,
Perfect day for sailing, huh? Have fun on land.
I'll go tell the Coast Guard.
Yep.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
For a limited time, Subway just dropped the price of every footlong in the app to $6.99. Wait, Subway did what? $6.99 footlongs? Yep, says right here, $6.99 for any footlong. Get this deal in the Subway app now before it's too late.
Matt Olson and the Braves battle Bryce Harper and the Phillies. Or William Contreras and the Brewers take on Ellie De La Cruz and the Reds. It's baseball night in America on Fox.
Busy Saturday. We've got much more college football coming up next on FS1. You got UNLV taking on Houston. Then at 10:30 later tonight, you got Wyoming and Arizona State. Catch it all right here on FS1.
Houston Cougars starting a new generation, a new time as we look at Bubba Schweigert. And Cougars got a new head coach, Dana Holgerson, out the door. Fresh start there.
Simon Rumpo, last time he lost a game as a starting quarterback, he was a 7th grader. He went 37-0 as a high school player, Langdon Area High School, northern North Dakota. And in the first 2 years, he sat behind Tommy Schuster at North Dakota. Isaiah Smith.
High stepping.
Gets out to the 35-yard line, maybe 34. I think he's just shy of the line to gain. Gain of 9.
I like how this guy runs in traffic, man. You know, you never know where an arm is going to come from, and he's high stepping through that traffic. And Isaiah just showed us some great ability. I just like his body language, his attitude.
Another carry for Smith. Gets his legs taken out, but does have enough for the first down.
And that
carry should get him to the 50-yard mark. 12 carries, 50 yards for Smith.
And that's what you got to do with an explosive runner. You got to get them before they get started. Smith doing a wonderful job of closing in to make that play.
Gavin Zebarth back into the game. He's got a ton of green in front of him. He's got the first down and slides at midfield. Spencer, your thought on the philosophy right now for North Dakota? They're down by 18. Obviously, it's FCS versus FBS. Do you want them to go faster, or are they just trying to play for themselves, getting ready for the rest of the year?
They don't have to go faster, but one of the things I see Isaac Frickte doing as a deep offensive coordinator, he is flooding the field the opposite direction and allowing a mobile quarterback to run away from where the bodies aren't. That, to me, is perfect design. The release in the design away from traffic.
Zebarth. North Dakota next week at home, taking on Montana, the Grizzlies. Iowa State at Iowa, going to take on their in-state rival Hawkeyes.
You know, when you're designing plays as an offensive coordinator, you can do yourself some favors if you have a mobile quarterback to design combination patterns that actually give him the ability to release away from traffic. And that's what I see happening in this possession.
Zebarth patiently waits for something, and it never really happened for him. It's a gain of a yard. 3rd down.
Well, here's the thing they're doing. It doesn't look like it's very sexy right now, but they are painting the field, moving from left to right, be the pass or the run. It doesn't really matter. What they're trying to do is get this Cyclone defense moving laterally. And so come back with something, inside zone perhaps, play action, anything like that can affect this coverage on the back end.
Belquist, bottom of your screen, right on the seam.
Nice.
They look the other way, coming out of the backfield and diving for that first down marker is Seidel. He'll be short, but maybe close enough to go for it on 4th down.
Well, I think to even be in that position, Seidel does a wonderful job of leaping over a defender who gets up celebration, but man, that's some positive yards right there. They're going to try to get back on the ball and advance this.
Okay, 4th down and 3. 4th down and 3. Line to gain is the 41.
This is the biggest play of the game right so far for North Dakota. Given how much time they possessed it and not come up with scores, they may get it back. 3 more possessions.
Belquist, bottom of your screen, number 1 in white. They look for him. He's got it. Another first down for Belquist. This kid's a stud. You need a big play, that's where you go to. Jacob Ellis the tackle, but it's 18 yards for Belquist.
I love how Isaac Frichte finds his receiver in a tandem formation. That just means 2 guys stacked on top of one another, and then the outlet receiver does an inside route, kind of a Texas route. You go outside and then inside. If that guy's got you leverage, no need to run and cover yourself. Run back away from him. That's what you saw in that little arrow technique, him coming back inside away from trouble. Excellent design, better read route by the receiver.
Belquist now with 5 catches on either 3rd or 4th down that have resulted in a first down. Rumpo has to just toss it away, and Freeler took a free shot on Seidel.
Seidel, got to have your head on a swivel, man. He's fronting the quarterback, and the quarterback is just not trying to take a sack here and gets rid of the ball, looking for his outlet. And Seidel doesn't see the ball coming. Plus, you take a shot at quarterback. Seidel got the worst of that, though.
Clock stops, 8:11 remaining in our 4th quarter. This will be the 9th play of the drive. Remember, North Dakota had a 23-play drive in the first half. Rumpo! Nothing there. That was some beautiful coverage. That was Darian Porter draped all over the receiver.
There you see some of the athleticism from a guy that's been around a long time, finally getting the chance to play and start long again. It doesn't matter if these are receivers or corners. These guys are so athletic and so long. Great defenders.
3rd down and 10. All eyes in the building should be on Bo Belquist.
Pressure blitz.
Oh my goodness, he was looking for Belquist. He was open and the pass was behind him.
Well, Belquist misread that. He tried to come inside, and what happened was, Eric, the blitz should have triggered a lot of things. Number 1, sit that thing down and turn your eyes immediately. Here's Belquist on the inside. The minute that guy, that blitzer comes, his eyes needs to be turned right now, right now. And he just didn't recognize. He's trying to read too much into it. That blitzer should have ID'd him immediately. Turn your head down, sit down at 5 yards, and present your hand and your numbers to a quarterback. That's a pitch and catch.
4th down and 10.
Pressure again. Nice.
Looking for Belquist.
That's a flag. That'll be a flag.
And a flag comes down. You throw it in his direction, good things happen. That's going to be defensive pass interference. Jontez Williams got tangled up with Belquist.
Well, heretofore, Jontez has been a good defender, but when you're matched up with a guy like this.
Pass interference. Defense number 30. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And I like the fact that the ball was not thrown to the back of the end zone, so being a little bit short of target meant that he had to defensively turn around and either locate it and put himself in a compromised situation and drew the penalty.
First defensive penalty of the game for Iowa State. And the ball is moved just outside the 10, the 11-yard line. North Dakota's got this whole long drive thing down.
Yeah, they just can't score and convert in the red zone. Everything gets compressed down here, partner, as you know.
Zebarth out of the backfield, pushed backwards and lost a whole bunch of yards. He could have either dropped the ball and been better off, or just gone down when he originally got hit and been better off.
You're absolutely right. And again, they call this the red zone because everything gets compact and execution comes at a premium. And if you're not mindful of that, this is what happens. Take your losses, go down. Once you get hit immediately, you know, I just get out of bounds or something, because you want to preserve the clock and do as much as you can.
Hit made by Malik Verdon, who's got 9 tackles today.
Just a 3-man rush. Somebody's got to get open. There, nice.
Someone's wide open, and it's incomplete. It was Nate DeMontenac who couldn't have been more open, but the pass was well off the mark.
And I'm not sure why Renfro was rushed in this situation, because he had the outcut, the corner route that he wanted. It was just a 3-man rush. It was not 4 or 5 or any blitz package, and he had the corner move. I mean, what a wonderful job of turning your guy inside out to make that play. Just brilliant. It was Jontez Williams once again getting turned around inside out on the back end.
So 3rd and 15. That was Jontez Williams, who was dreaming dreams of a 90-yard interception for a touchdown.
Jontez has got a little bit of chip on his shoulder now. You trying to play me? You trying to come after me? Absolutely. He's got great athleticism. He's got great ball skills, but you know, he can get turned around from time to time. It's one of the things you got to have as a corner, man. You got to have a snap and clear mentality. You got to be confident, but you certainly got to wipe the slate clean when you come up short, which he has a couple of times today. But he's a big play threat defensively.
C.J. Elrich from 33 yards out. Elrich last year began the season as the holder. This year he's the kicker. Next year's going to be the long snapper. 33 yards up and wide right.
Wow.
So another long drive for Bubba Schweikert's North Dakota Fighting Hawks. And it comes up empty. 21-3, Iowa State still in control.
We gave it class-leading passenger space for ultimate comfort and the confidence of a nationwide dealer network. With the all-new Honda Prologue, we've made it easy to go electric, just like you'd expect from a Honda. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. Moving piles of earth, towing up to 4,000 pounds, cutting millions of blades of grass. Nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Honey.
Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey. Powerful cold and flu relief with a dreamy honey taste. NyQuil Honey. The honeylicious nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine.
This is an election year unlike any other.
America is ready.
And so are we.
Democracy 24. Your freedom. Your vote.
At Harry's, we designed our razors to start sharp and stay smooth, so your 8th shave is as smooth as your first. And at as little as $2 per blade, they cost half of what the other guys charge. Wake up to Harry's. Get your trial set for just $7 at harrys.com/smooth.
Hurry up, Agent. Only 20 seconds left.
But which wire should I cut? The red or the blue or the...
Well, it's usually always the blue one.
But there is also a green one and a yellow one.
Oh, there. Red Bull. Behind you. Drink it now.
Of course. Too late.
No Red Bull, no wings.
BK's new fiery menu. 5 items, 5 levels, so you can do you. Level 1's like, level 5's a bit, woo. It's fiery. At BK, have it your way.
7:04 remaining in our ball game. Iowa State leads North Dakota 21-3 with Spencer Tillman. I'm Eric Collins. How about Jontez Williams? Last year, 6 tackles total all season. He's got 11 today.
He's been impressive, and that's how you show up, man. It's about taking advantage of opportunities, and Jontez has done that. Yeah, he's been beaten a couple of times and was out of position on another play, but boy, he's really shown up today.
He's earned his pork tenderloin sandwich postgame. Still no Abu Sama. He left beginning of that third quarter. Don't know exactly the extent of what happened to him, but it's Jalen Jackson as your running back right now. Jackson with extensive Division I experience, transfer from Eastern Michigan.
And alternately on the other side of the ball, partner, think about North Dakota. They had a total of 69 total plays on 7 drives, held the ball for 36 minutes and only produced 3 points.
That's hard to do.
Isn't that amazing?
It's really hard.
It's a squander. It's opportunity lost the way I see it, and that's a testament perhaps to Cyclones defense, but man, got to get points.
Steve O'Klotz, tight end, moves closer to the line of scrimmage. Hand off to Jackson once again. Over the years, you've watched a ton of John Haycock's defenses. Would he be offended if you said his defense today was bend but not break? Or is that just something that they never want to mention? It just so happens that's the way they're playing today.
No, I think he would, in a private room without consequences, be a little bit disappointed because there's only one legitimate known vertical threat that could stress them, and that they didn't do a better job of containing and at least getting more possession for their offense. That's what I would say. So it's not about degrees to which they failed. It's about not taking advantage of the opportunity and the dominance of talent that they have.
Carson Hansen replaces Jackson as the runner. 3rd down.
Nice.
Caught. Once again, wonderful play by the veteran Jaden Higgins. Just seems to know where all the open spots are in the defense.
And I tell you, Rocco sets up and turns those shoulders, but yet keeps that eye like a Cylon warrior, man, turning and finding between 3 defenders and puts that laser right between all of them. By your command, man, he just lays it right where it needed to be.
There may not be another game the rest of the year in which Knoll and Higgins are targeted 13 times and catch all 13 passes.
How about that? Who says 13 is an unlucky number?
It's Eli Green in motion. They get to Green out in space. And Green wriggles out to the 50-yard line. Green's had a nice day.
Yep.
4 catches for the transfer from North Dakota State.
And the transfer can have good days when you place the ball like that. I'm telling you, you cannot under or overemphasize how important it is to put the ball out in front of a receiver where he's facing the defender so that he can see not only the ball, but he can see traffic and trouble coming his way. If the ball's on the opposite shoulder, he doesn't know where people are coming from, and it limits his ability to make plays after the catch. Give him a chance.
Both these sides playing with a lot of players who were born and raised in the state of Minnesota. Minnesota's fertile recruiting area for both these programs.
Little hesitation on the route and probably should have kept going on that.
Eli Green, case in point, he's from Farmington, Minnesota.
Yeah, you can see him hesitate. He's got press coverage right here. He did a nice job of moving, but be convinced with what you're doing. Don't give what we call bastard reads. In other words, give an honest read. What you do, you must actually continue that for the quarterback. Don't give him a false read. If you put that hand up and then turn inside, it's man coverage. Keep running. Don't stop.
This should be power football, you'd imagine. 3rd down and 1. And Matt Campbell. There's a certain thing he believes in, and it's called getting 3rd down and 1s when you've got a lead with 4 minutes remaining. Not a lot of window dressing necessary. Just go for it.
Yeah, they're in the wheelhouse right now, and in particular, if you start to see some of these tight ends like we saw in the jumbo package in the last series coming in, he's just trying to milk this clock and get out of here.
3-time Big 12 Coach of the Year, 2-time Mid-American Conference Coach of the Year, and somehow Matt Campbell is still only 44 years of age.
You know, and it seemed like just a few short years ago, he was like white hot, right? Everybody was trying to pull him out here, and justifiably so. 2020, in a year which affected everybody, he had great success. And so that whole notion of thriving in chaos kind of gave him the label of a corrector.
Hansen, straight up the gut.
And everybody wanted him. And so I think things have cooled off just a little bit, but we since had NIL. We got all these transfer portals, and it requires a different technique and a profile for a coach to have success these days.
Timeout called by North Dakota. We'll take it as well. 3:16 remaining. Back in a moment.
When migraine strikes, you're faced with a choice. Accept the trade-offs of treating or push through the pain and symptoms. With Ubrelvy, there's another option. One dose quickly stops migraine in its tracks. Treat it anytime, anywhere, without worrying where you are or if it's too late. Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Allergic reactions to Ubrelvy can happen. Most common side effects were nausea and sleepiness. Migraine pain relief starts with you. Ask about Ubrelvy. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Walk in for all your favorites during Little Caesars Summer of Hot and Ready, like a thin crust pepperoni pizza for $7.99. No need to order ahead, just get here ASAP. Stuck the landing! Walk in for your hot and ready favorites like $7.99 thin crust.
Pizza.
Whoa, it's the Capital One Bank guy.
That's me.
So, what do you do outside of the Capital One Cafe?
What do you mean? No fees on checking accounts and no overdraft fees help me sleep at night. What's in your wallet?
They found the body.
The steely gaze and the cryptic silence. You're very good at that.
I'm Carl Allenberg, Chief of Police.
What would you pay for an iPad Pro? I only paid $42 on Deal Dash.
DealDash.com. Online auction since 2009. This PlayStation 5 sold for only 50 cents. And this smart charcoal grill sold for $16. And this Nintendo Switch sold for less than $20. Deals like these and many more happen in the thousands of daily auctions on DealDash.com. All auctions start at $0. And remember, everything must go.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56.
I got this barbecue smoker for $26.
And you get a 90-day money-back guarantee with your first purchase.
This brand new iPhone sold for less than $42. And this DJI drone sold for less than $21.
And I got it for $16 on Deal Dash.
And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
There are auctions going on right now. So what are you waiting for?
3:16 remaining. Time now for our hardest working player, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. How about Jalen Noel?
Oh, he's impressive. Among the 20 returning starters Matt Campbell has, no one is more impactful than Jalen Noel. Splitting coverages here, not afraid to run in traffic, seeks the ball properly, understands, and watch how easy he makes these catches here in the middle. Sensing the coverage over the top, not exhausting it, just being a very effective and efficient receiver.
Second down at 6. Jalen Jackson barrels down to the 40. It'll bring up third down. And another timeout is called.
That guy right there has been playing some good football as well. Understated. You know, I'll tell you, Rocco reminds me, his personality type of like a Baker Mayfield, just not as verbose and excitable. He's got that kind of air and confidence. Being a coach's son, I'm not shocked.
Similar body type, 6'1", 210 as a Baker Mayfield. Yeah, pretty good cop. I like that. Stat, if you do not know, is Anthony Becht. Played 12 years in the NFL as a tight end. There actually are two former NFL tight ends, sons, playing on Iowa State's offense. Rocco Becht and a true freshman tight end that they love by the name of Cooper Alexander. His father, Stephen Alexander, was a Pro Bowl tight end when he played for the Redskins and the Chargers, among others.
Yep. You know, and partner, I came to that conclusion because I began to look at his game over a period of time, the short body of work that we have. He, like Baker Mayfield, had a lot of assets around him, but he was also one of the least sacked quarterbacks around. And so why is that? Part mobility, part assets, number of factors, but you still got to have some degree of athleticism and leadership. He's got magnetism as a leader as well.
And a flag is down. This is going to go against Iowa State.
Yeah, that'll be movement. A receiver out there.
Ball start. Offense, number 0. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
You're talking so much about the weapons that Rocco Becht has. Normally, you think about Matt Campbell and Iowa State and weapons, and you think about tight ends.
No question.
They use a whole bunch of them. They had a bunch of guys go on to the NFL. We have not had a tight end catch a ball today for Iowa State. And as a broadcaster, that's just something that you don't ever not say. You know, it's usually pass to the tight end, pass to the tight end.
Going all the way back to my days at Oklahoma, I never remember coming to Ames with the tight end not being a factor in their offensive scheme in some capacity. I'm not sure if that's testament to Matt Campbell allowing the reins to be taken off and let Taylor Mauser run the offense a little bit more.
Hanson's got it. And he'll take it underneath the 3-minute mark. Kaysen Kelly makes the tackle.
But you know, you opened up a discussion about where these coaches are now, not just with the players, with NIL and all that stuff, but coaches also are migrating to the NFL more than they have in recent history because of the complexities of recruiting now and so forth. That's the reason why Steelhouse is now with the Rams. And so we can think about Chip Kelly. We can think about all these guys. It leaves a head coaching job making $7-8 million a year to be a $2 million coordinator. Well, it's a different time that we're in right now, man, and it's more complex than ever to have success at that position. So I think head coaches are giving the reins a little bit more to these coordinators so that they can do what they do.
This is the upcoming schedule for Matt Campbell and Iowa State. You got Iowa in Iowa City next week. You got Arkansas State non-conference, and then Houston, Baylor, West Virginia. Big 12's underway.
Yeah, man, and I'm loving it too. I mean, change is good. Listen, I know that there's a old proverb that talks about the crisis doesn't make the person; it only exposes who they are, and I think that's true. With all this NIL and stuff, it's got to handle it.
4th down at 6, and they're going to punt the football. Nope, they're going to go for it. All right. You think they're going to go for it?
Yeah, they're going to pull them off sides, just sit there on it.
And still 8 seconds remaining on the play clock. And Iowa State calls a timeout. So the punt team now will come onto the field. Just some housekeeping for you. North Dakota, they're all out of timeouts.
Matt's just doing some practice right now of managing the game situation and clock management. This is what he's working on right now, and I don't blame him, because at some point in time they're going to need to find different ways to win games. And that's a very contemplative look he's got on his face right now. I wish I had a penny for his thoughts.
Well, if this score holds, it'll be the 54th win for Matt Campbell at Iowa State. His winning percentage is second to only Earl Bruce.
Yep.
Total wins is second to only Dan McCarney.
Yeah, he's
getting close. McCarney's got 56. A win today would be 54 for Campbell.
Be too shy then, right? Those passes Dan McCarney. That's pretty strong medicine. That's high cotton right there now. I know we're in corn country, but that's pretty high cotton.
This is Jace Gilbert, so they truly have alternated punters today. Perkins and Gilbert. That'll be something interesting to keep an eye on. There's one for shorter punts, one for longer ones, so they're truly just alternating. Bo Belquist calls for the fair catch.
And that wasn't an easy field either, because that ball is going from shade into light, and that can be a bugaboo to feel those kind of returns. Well, have you had any surprises today in week 1 for us? You feel? How do you feel
about this particular game? To me, this is what I expected out of Iowa State. You know, I think they've got weapons. They didn't make too many mistakes. Solid. Whether they're going to have to play the rest of the year, I wouldn't be surprised the fact that they didn't use much of their tight ends. Defensively, saw signs that they could be something.
Well, this is a game of adjustments, and that actually could end up playing into their favor when they do face teams when they need to change things up.
Rumpho handles a low snap and is brought down at the 6-yard line.
You know, coaches are predictable. They don't prepare as much for things that they don't see. And so if you don't see something, you tend not to spend time on it. But again, if you haven't used your tight ends, you know it's going to be a steady diet in your future. I think you can get away from a game like this without exposing some of those looks. That's actually a win for you.
Yeah, well, I think that Kirk Ferentz and the Iowa coaching staff are still going to prepare for tight ends to be a big part of the offense when they see them next week. This doesn't scratch something off the list that you don't need to count for when you take on Iowa State. North Dakota has no way of stopping the clock unless there's a penalty pre-snap. And this will move them back.
Ball start. Offense, number 1. Half the distance to the goal. Remain second down.
First mistake by Bo Belquist today. There's a chance that Bo Belquist is not even the fastest sibling in his family. He's got a sister, Kelsey Belquist, who is the North Dakota, 2 years ago, was the North Dakota High School Track Athlete of the Year. Wow. Now is a freshman at Nebraska. She is a big deal. Comes some good stock.
2-minute warning.
Bo's dad, wide receiver at North Dakota State. Good athletic family. But it's been all Iowa State on this Saturday afternoon. We have made it to the 2-minute timeout. We'll be back with a final 120 seconds.
It's Big Noon Saturday on Fox.
Quinn Ewers in Texas head to the legendary Big House.
Watch out!
It's Big Noon Saturday on Fox.
Match for the National Women's Soccer League.
Chase knows how to put the heart in your local community. Evan, you helping them with savings, right? Somebody just got their first debit card. Ice cream on you? Your money is a part of your community, so your bank should be too, like Chase.
You can only get Wendy's new saucy nugs at Wendy's. So if anyone ever tries to tell you they have saucy nugs at home, you might want to see what else they're hiding, because that person lies. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
On and in the sun, we'll be playing and having fun.
I thought you said this job was easy.
Final 2 minutes, Iowa State in control. They lead North Dakota 21-3. North Dakota continues to just eviscerate Iowa State in time of possession, but that doesn't show up on the scoreboard. You can possess it for as long as you want, but unless you get it in the end zone, it all amounts to nothing. Simon Rumpo, first collegiate start, gets it out across the 10 to the 13. That'll bring up third down. They need to get to the 18-yard line.
I've been impressed with his game, partner.
And is it caught? No, it is not. Ball hit the ground before Belquist could get his arms around it. Fourth down.
Low and away a ball.
Clock stops, 1:35 remaining.
Great delivery, steps into it. Maybe doesn't have the best technique, and that ball was a one skipper. Does get underneath him, and he traps it. But I think generally overall, I'm really impressed with Simon Rumpo's overall awareness today in his first start since high school. I mean, that's pretty impressive to me to come in here.
Yeah, Rumpo's going to finish 17 for 30, 121 yards. Did have one interception, which is costly.
Yeah, I think this is a long way away from the Fargo Center, where there's about 19,000 people. You come in here with 67 plus and acquit yourself. That's pretty good.
Silvernail.
Bad punt.
Oof. It'll be downed at the 30-yard line.
Ouch.
And Iowa State will come on. North Dakota has no way of stopping the clock. And we take a look around the Big 12. Spencer Tillman.
Listen, this is Mike Gundy's closing in on 20 seasons there at Oklahoma State. They're at 17 nationally. I think that they're a dark horse. I think they're in a position to win this conference, to be sure. And I'm not going to count out Iowa State. I still think the best is ahead for them. Among Utah and those groups, Utah probably the best and leader in most people's minds, but I'm just absolutely loving that with a big win for them today, 44-20 over the Jackrabbits.
And we have a new quarterback. Taking the signals is going to be number 5, Connor Moberly. Connor Moberly, same high school as Abu Sama. He is a true freshman. First carry for another true freshman, Dylan Lee. Dylan Lee from Gilbert, Arizona. That's really close to where Brock Purdy's from, if memory serves.
Brock's pretty happy right now. He's got Brandon Ayuk signed, and he's those 49ers in a good position right now, man, because I didn't think that was going to happen.
It's a little bit of news. I don't know how we can read into this, but it is news. We didn't know who was the definitive number 2 quarterback for Iowa State. J.J. Cole, who's played before, and the true freshman Connor Moberly, who's from just down the road in Altoona, Iowa. Same high school that produced Kyle Orton.
Yep.
But I don't know if you read into this, Moberly is the number 2 behind Baxter. We shall see. Another carry for Dylan Lee. Well, partner, we're off to a good start. That was a lot of fun.
My friend. It has been a pleasure. I was on tiptoes of anticipation waiting for this one. Your reputation precedes you, man, and I'll tell you, man, your energy's off the chart. I love it, man. It's just good
I feel like I learned quite a bit today. I'm a smarter man than I was 3 hours ago, so thank you for that.
That's wonderful.
This should be the final play of the game. Throw it to a tight end. Final play of the game, Dylan Lee. Triple zeros, and it's official. Iowa State, they're in the books. 1-0 on the year. A 21-3 victor over North Dakota.